can sit right there.
It's funny, I see posts like this on Facebook. It was like the top 50 like most beautiful words, or like 50 words that every adult should know. And I'll reshare them all the time to revisit, because sometimes there's words on there I don't know and I'd like to use. I didn't know that.
Dude, when I started, because I didn't read any books, I totally took school for granted just to meet friends.
Yeah.
I had to start there to like build my vocabulary and all those things.
Sure.
It was.
I was lucky, bro. My mom was a teacher.
Yeah, dude.
So her specialty was English.
That's why you're so smart.
Oh, this one? You?
I mean, I usually sit here, but I don't know. Maybe the vibe will be different.
Hey, man.
Fuck
tell me where to go.
No, I'll be in this one. Maybe because I feel comfortable in it.
No, sure, bro.
Okay, so have you had a headset where you can like hear yourself? Oh, you play.
Yeah, for
sure. So you're used to this.
Yeah.
It took me a little while to get used to it. Oh, wait, it's okay. Dope. Hell yeah. First off, I just want to say, it's so weird at first because you're like in a closed room and it just, all you can hear is your voice.
Sure.
I want to say, dude, thank you for driving all the way from Santan.
For sure.
And reaching out originally, like we were just talking about today, I don't think we would have connected otherwise if we didn't follow each other on Instagram this whole time.
Yeah. I probably wouldn't have reconnected with anybody from high school had it not been for the last few people I had on Snapchat or Insta or Facebook. Yeah.
That's crazy that we had Instagram in high school, and then like we go about our ways, and then eventually
find our way back.
I imagine that would probably keep happening, with different friends.
Sure. Yeah.
Just like the life events happen, and you kind of remember old memories. But yeah, dude, I'm really great. And then when I saw your post about your chickens, dude, I was like, Cooper's a good fucking person. Like, really cares about these chickens, dude.
Thanks,
you can hear it in his voice.
Yeah.
And that's when I reached out to my homie because I was like, dude, please help my guy. Like,
I
feel bad
that.
for these chickens.
No, it actually ended up working out. Like, it was a bummer when she passed away, but old friend from high school, his girlfriend, I'm still pretty close with him and his girlfriend, her sister has a whole flock of chickens.
Wait, from our high school?
Jake Weinhold, and I don't know if his girl went to Skyline, but her name's Shy.
Shy what?
Del Rosario. Actually, she might have gone to Skyline. It would have been after I was gone. But they have a whole flock of chickens. They came and they picked up my other two, and they've integrated super well with that flock. Yeah, they got a really nice yard for them, so it's a better setup for them now.
Damn.
Honestly.
So how long did you have chickens for?
Probably about 6 months or so, something like that. And I had a great time. We're still gonna get more, definitely.
Just when it's not summer?
Probably when it's cooled off a bit, but I think mainly our focus would just be on having the necessary things in place to keep them cool in the summer too. Like the coop that we have is just open chicken wire on 2x4s. Like there's no area for them to go to get away from the heat. Mm-hmm. Some coops you can mount a fan inside, and that they have constant airflow and insulation in the walls so that it's.
Oh, so you're gonna build like a legit one before you do it again?
If I don't build it, I'd buy one. They get a little expensive, but I'd like to build it, honestly.
That'd be something to learn
for sure.
They have one on Amazon because I was looking too.
Yeah.
And it looks really dope. It's like a red farmhouse looking one.
Sure, yeah.
It's like $250.
Yeah.
I don't know if they have insulation though.
Well,
probably
so
not.
That's actually pretty mild. You look at a place like Tractor Supply Co. They go for like $500-$600 for the same exact one. They tax like crazy there. So $250. I mean, and consider you're also putting it together. That kind of makes it less of a reasonable price, but. I don't know. It's worth it in the end.
Did you get eggs from your chickens?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Our smallest one, I don't know if it was the heat or the stress. She was on the bottom of the pecking order for sure. She laid one her first week with us and then never again. So the black one and the red one, they both did. The red one really consistently. Mm-hmm. Black one every once in a while. She was funny. She literally flew the coop. She flew over the fence and she'd be gone for days at a time and we had no idea where she was. I was like, oh, man, she's gone. I didn't know that you could clip a wing and that doesn't hurt them, but it also throws off their balance so they can't fly away.
Yeah.
I didn't know that at the time. come to find out, like weeks later, after she's she's gone for 3, 4, 5 days, she comes back, she'll rehydrate, get some food, and on her way again. She was in our bush in our front yard, and when we found her there, she was nesting on a clutch of like 8 eggs.
What,
yeah.
dude?
And of course, I mean, they'd been there for a while. They weren't fertilized or anything, but they were also bad inside, so we couldn't eat them. But it was like, oh man, not only was she here the whole time, but she was also laying, and we could have been retrieving these. So that was a bummer. It felt kind of bad throwing them away. But
wait, what does that tell you though? That it left and then went to your front yard to relocate?
I don't know. I think honestly,
are they sentient?
Right. Well, they are social, and so that's why it was confusing to me, because they typically like to be in a flock. They function best there. If they're not, they get lonely and stressed.
But they're so mean to each other, though.
They can be, for sure. Typically, the one at the top of the pecking order is the one that keeps the rest in line, and unless you have roosters and hens together, I don't think it's as common to see those types of heads clashing. But because the black one had left and it was just the other two, she had nobody else to pester, or I don't know, so Henrietta would peck at her. And anyway, I'm not sure if it was just her wanting to have her own space, but I thought it was so funny just knowing that they are these social creatures, and she completely removed herself.
Damn.
Yeah.
And that's savage. Yeah. So was she like friendly to you when you found her there?
Oh yeah, totally. She's funny though. She's quick, and she would run away, and she knew that I couldn't get her the higher up she went, so she'd fly to the patio and then up onto the roof, and then she'd just look down at me, and she'd do this cluck that it literally sounded like she was laughing at me. Like, you bastard.
Dude, when I used to fish back in the day, I would hear ducks quacking, basically. I don't know, quacking. And it sounded like they were fucking laughing at you.
Yeah, for sure.
Sometimes it would be perfect. Like, you tell a joke, and then they would start laughing, and you're like, what the fuck?
They must know.
Yeah.
They must know. Yeah, that's funny.
The sound that they do. But that's crazy. I want to get chickens, dude, and I heavily considered it.
If I could give you any advice, so we have turf. There's like
Us too.
But your whole yard is turf, so that makes it a little bit harder unless you have like a dedicated area for them. I let them just free roam the yard. We only have one section right in front of our patio and the deck that the previous homeowner had put in. Mm-hmm. It stretches, it's probably 6, maybe like 10 feet out, 18 feet across, something like that. And then the rest of our yard is all rock. They love to poop in the turf. And unless you have like a subscription, like a monthly thing where you have a turf cleaning company coming out, just regular water, you can rinse out the poop and it can settle into the turf or off of the turf. But the flies, they don't stop. They come in crazy. And then eventually we had roaches in the yard. They never got in the house or anything like that, but it made the yard less of a place that you'd want to hang out at. And so that was kind of a major drawback for us. We tried to think of, like, maybe we need to put chicken wire up on our concrete slab where the patio is, so they're at least not pooping on the patio, because they would do that too. And we washed that every day. Yeah. But there was just, the flies were unbearable. So if I could give advice, it would just be have like on Amazon you can even get these enclosures, just big chain link enclosures. Yeah. And then just let them free roam in there.
Yeah, and that's ideal. Like, I would love for them to just have like a coop that they can lay eggs and then just free range. But I couldn't, now looking at it, I couldn't do it because I was thinking on the side of my house. It's all dirt, and I was going to make it dope.
Well, dirt's good. They take dust baths. It's how they get, I think it's how they get rid of dust mites or something like that. I can't remember exactly what, there's a reason why they do it. It might even be to cool themselves off. But they'll like fluff up and settle down into the dirt. They take dust baths. I don't know why exactly, but...
well, that makes sense. Maybe I can show you before you leave, but I don't know if I'll do it just because I got distracted with the gardening stuff. Sure. But eventually, like, I saw a video, and I can't unsee it, or unwatch it, rather. And it was like 3 years ago, or maybe more recent, but it was like we were the generation that wasn't taught how to homestead, but we'll teach ourselves and hopefully pass it along. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw another thing where it was like, for generations, this is how we did it. There was a garden in everybody's yard. A lot of people had a milk cow or things like that, and we're not reliant on grocery stores as much. Mm-hmm. And it took like a single generation of not doing that to forget it all. And it really is crazy. I would, in my ideal world, the public education system structured as it is would not be that way. But my point for bringing that up is I would introduce some sort of like a a course in there that maybe even mandatory. Like, these are things that we need to know.
At least know where it comes. Yeah, this is not like you don't go to the grocery store and it's always here every time.
Right, exactly. But also, there's going to come a place. Think about the state of the world today, where a country being subject to a cyber attack that takes out their whole electric grid, therefore all communications that use electricity, like that could all be gone tomorrow.
Yeah.
The grocery stores won't be getting their orders in.
It's one of our biggest threats.
Absolutely. So it's like, wouldn't it be more beneficial to just have been taught this as you were growing up, so it's ingrained in you? So should the day come where that happens, you're prepared, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
but maybe it's intentional. I don't know.
I would think so. That's what I said. Like, I would not structure a public education system the way that it is. There's a really famous quote from John D. Rockefeller, who was the biggest funder, or he was...
Of the school system?
Exactly. Yeah. He had funded it and helped found it.
But he wasn't the one that created it, right? He was...
I don't know that I don't know exactly who created it. It was probably a board of people. I think he was one of their original board of education members. Don't quote me on that. But he's very well known for his quote saying, "I don't want a nation of thinkers. I want a nation of workers."
Motherfucker.
And so, like, when you see the comparisons, there's other videos you can find online that show side by sides of like the school lunchroom compared to a prison lunchroom, or the bell schedule compared to that of the one in jail or in work. And it's like they're not putting us through this as a mandate because they want us to become smart and be able to get out there in the world and invent and create. They want to prepare us for the workforce. I mean,
to keep a society running.
Absolutely. It's all conditioning with the added benefit, I guess you could say, of some education. Like, not everything's invaluable, but like our history is all BS. That's all been...
Think about one generation, we lose so much knowledge.
Sure.
Imagine a person that's biased telling the story.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then we take that for fact.
And like, whoever wins the wars is the one who writes that history too.
Exactly.
Like, there's just so many different times in history where
that's beautiful.
What we have been taught in school with recent things coming to light, we can clearly see were not the case. I think a really famous example would be that of like Chris Columbus. And I think that they do touch on, I remember in school they touched on the fact that he brought the smallpox blankets and did all of that to the Native Americans that lived here, but they don't really touch on the true atrocities. They don't talk about the rape. They don't talk about the genocides. Like, smallpox, sure, that's one thing.
When did you learn about that? About like the truth or the reality of what this, or the full understanding of this?
Actually, it was around the time that I took Zach on his first trip.
For real?
Around that same time, yeah. My older cousin Quinn, I got to attribute a lot of what I know, a lot of the early things I learned to him. He was like to me, like the pioneer in conspiracy theory. I was super sheltered as a kid, so to hear some of the things that he would bring that shed light on, I was just like, whoa, dude.
Wait, I gotta touch on that.
Yeah.
So you being sheltered as a kid and then being exposed to someone that's like deep into conspiracies.
Yeah.
What is that feeling like when he's telling you that? Is it like...
Well, it was so abstract, it was so foreign, it was more so just like fun to think about.
Yeah,
like oh, this could be... Because at the time, I really thought that conspiracy theory was just that. It was just a theory. It's an idea. This could be what happened. Here's the real history, but it could have been this way. So for me, it was just always like a cool, like, ooh, what if type of a thing. But it gets really, really real, really fast when you start talking about... some of the things I was telling you about earlier, Freemasons and the Rockefellers, a lot of the founding fathers. There's just so much. The first thing that kind of got me into it was Bohemian Grove. Have you heard about that?
I've heard Bohemian Grove a bunch. I don't know anything about it, dude. So if you could tell me...
Yeah, for sure. There's a video. So you know Alex Jones?
Yeah.
So he, in the 90s, found this Bohemian Grove, broke into it, and it's a place in the Redwood Forest in California where politicians and global elites will gather literally at the base of a 70, 80 foot stone owl. And this owl is called Moloch. It's a deity it's the deity of child sacrifice. And it would appear that they worship this thing, right? So he breaks in, and it's pretty grainy footage. There's new footage out now of somebody else. It may have even been Alex Jones getting out there again.
You think he would risk it at this where he's at in this stage in his life?
I'd like to believe that he's so dedicated to finding the truth that maybe his own well-being is of less importance to him if it means getting it out to people.
True.
But I don't know.
He stopped drinking and he's getting fit, so maybe
for sure. But he could also very well be just another pawn. It's really when you start to see and learn the things that I've come across in the last few years, it's hard to trust anybody. Even a guy like RFK, who I feel like, with certain exceptions, has always had our best interest in mind as a country regarding our health and health policy.
But something at like a dinner with Trump, deciding if he's going to be a part of this administration or not, I feel like they can make deals where no one else is listening.
Yeah, for sure. There's probably, not even probably, with beyond a shadow of a doubt, there is more that we do not know happening behind closed doors than we do. Yeah. Even with all the conspiracies being talked about on the internet today. But Bohemian Grove was the first one for me, other than like 9/11.
Yeah. So it's this place where celebrities and... Is that your phone?
Yeah, sorry, let me...
No, you're good.
Pick that off real quick.
It's where celebrities, politicians go, and and then the deity...
Well, there's like a whole ceremony. So in the video that Alex Jones posted, you could find it on YouTube still. There's a guy chanting something. It sounds like in a different language, but very ominous over the loudspeakers. And there's like a whole like fire thing that comes up, probably just a pyrotechnic display. And they do a mock sacrifice. They use a dummy. They use a doll for this. Not a literal doll, but like a child-sized dummy at the base of the owl and do a mock sacrifice ritual. People like the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers, who control the vast majority of the money in the world. How deep do you want to go? Because I know there were some things I was telling you about earlier that you're like, I probably don't want to know about that.
No, not that I don't want to know about it. I just don't want to spend my time talking about it if it's made up. Not even completely. If a portion of it is made up, I'm missing the point of what this all is.
So it's really hard to say, especially in the age of AI. Thankfully, years ago, before AI was in the mainstream, is when I was starting to see all this stuff. So I'm more inclined to believe some of the stuff I've seen. But, they get into things involving children. And like I was saying, it's a mock sacrifice. But, gosh, it's spread so far and wide, I don't even know where to begin.
Well, how about we curb that and we'll finish it with a conversation with that. And... because I know it's going to take a twist and it'll kind of be like a dark vibe, but I do want to go there, and that's one of the things I looked forward to this conversation, because you're always posting things and I want to see your perspective and what you think on those things. But I don't think Zach would care if we talked about the trip.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully not, because I'll tell you about it. It was his first time, and at that point I feel like in my group of friends I've become pretty well known as like the guy to go to if you wanted to have a positive experience with it. I was telling your girlfriend I had a whole set of rules that I'd lay out. I'd say probably the most important 3 were maintain a safe environment, only trip with people you know, keep it positive. Because if you can do those 3 things, you're pretty much guaranteed a positive experience. Like one of the other ones would be like, ideally you'll have somebody there sober, trip sitter, somebody who can kind of keep you tethered to reality. We didn't always have that, but by the time we didn't, we were pretty well versed in that whole realm, and so it wasn't as much of a concern.
At what point did you decide to set structure to your trips? Not just intention, but like structure. Safety.
Pretty early on. I remember my first trip very well, and that was not a time in which we had any sort of structure.
You were just experimenting.
Totally.
And for fun, maybe?
100% for fun. I had only smoked weed up until that point. And I knew how that made me feel, and from the way it had been explained to me, it was going to be like that, but a lot more.
Really?
just a lot more. And I had seen the movie Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas with Johnny Depp, and
I wish I saw it so I could relate to this right now.
Well, it's a great watch. It's got a really low rating on Rotten Tomatoes, but it's one of my favorite movies.
They're probably co-opted too.
Well, dude, it's just Hunter S. Thompson was such a character, and I just, for that reason, I really like it. But Johnny Depp and him were tight, and he does a really good portrayal. In that movie, they do a ton of different drugs. They do acid a few times. Sunshine acid, which was the good stuff back in the 70s.
I've never heard of that.
Sunshine acid?
No, so it was a strain of acid?
It wasn't like a strain. It was more the blotter paper. It was
Oh, so it was the design on it?
Yeah, exactly.
It has nothing to do with the effect?
I think it was a special formula. It was one of the original ones created by the Dead family, the Grateful Dead family.
What?
And so like when they did their the road shows that they would go on, and then eventually, oh God, what was it? Woodstock. Mm-hmm. It was creating this whole cult following about it all. But Sunshine Acid was a very specific one that the Grateful Dead family had formulated.
So that was the first one that you took?
No. That was what Johnny Depp does in the movie.
Okay. So yeah, you see this movie.
See the movie, so I had kind of a rough idea, or at least Hollywood's idea, of what acid would be like. And so I was like...
How'd they do, if you had to rate them?
There's one scene in particular that is 100% spot on accurate if you're on the right amount.
Okay.
He's walking through a hotel or a casino, and the designs in the floor start swirling around his feet. That has happened to me with my plain ass carpet. I watched it melt around my feet one time. It was the same trip where I watched my cat turn into a bobcat. Same thing. Same time.
But you were talking about your first trip, or were you going somewhere else with?
I can get into my first trip a little bit, but
is that what sparked your interest? Is the movie?
Yeah, well,
what to expect?
What sparked my interest was my cousins having done it before and telling me about their experiences. The movie just was the thing that kind of gave me a rough idea of what to expect from it, or so I thought. I mean, where would you like to start? I can tell you my first.
I'm so excited. I'm like eager to hear about your trip.
Mm-hmm. Actually, you know what's funny is I smoked DMT before I ever did acid, but I didn't realize that was what it was, and I didn't have a super profound experience where I blasted off. Had a weird experience, and it felt very strange, but it wasn't what it could have been, and I was probably better off not going all the way with it.
Was it anything like you can describe to other psychedelics, or no, not at all?
No, it's totally different. Well, actually, if I could compare that experience to anything, it would have been that of salvia.
Oh, and I haven't done that, so I don't know.
That's okay. To be honest with you, man, salvia is a mixed bag. There's really no telling what experience you're going to have with that one. But you can almost guarantee that whatever's going to happen, it will involve you turning it into an inanimate object.
Ah.
Yeah, for real.
That's a commonality?
Very common. My cousin turned into a school bus one time. He had a buddy who turned into a Coke bottle, and his head was the bottle cap. And he tried to open it, twisting his head, and they had to stop him. Like, it's a mixed bag for sure. When I did it,
salvia?
Mm-hmm, salvia. Which you can still get at smoke shops. It's super available.
They don't care about that.
No, they really don't.
It's never even been a talk of the mainstream media once.
No, yeah, I don't think so. I mean, there's really famous videos on YouTube of a guy who, which is probably the most media exposure it's gotten that I know of, where he will try everyday tasks on salvia, and it always ends with him not being able to accomplish the task because he'll have passed out or fallen down and is experiencing whatever he's experiencing. My trip with it, my cousins were sitting in front of me. This is the same place where I had my first acid trip. So in the back of their neighborhood, there was a cul-de-sac, and directly off to the side of it was a long green belt. There was a playground up here, but we were walled off. On the other side of the wall was the main road. And it was dark. It was probably like 9 p.m. And they were sitting in front of me. My older cousin, he's a little bit taller, so his head was kind of up here, and I could mostly just see their silhouettes. And
if that's annoying you, I'm so down to switch you spots.
Oh no, you're good, bro. I don't mind.
Okay, just let me know if it bothers you.
For sure,
switch spots.
We'll do. I had this little Sherlock glass pipe that we packed full of a bowl of it, and I hit it once or twice, and I started to feel kind of a similar sensation when you are first smoking DMT, like your whole body feels like it's vibrating, but not in the way that it does when you're on acid. This makes it sound really bad, but it made me feel like I was dying. Like, I thought, like, whoa, like my soul's gonna leave my body type of thing. And then I took my third hit, and as I blew out the smoke, I was looking at them, and their silhouettes, it's crazy because it involves a weird perspective shift. Their silhouettes in front of me became what I was looking at above me, and I, in that third breath, became a bag of sliced bread. in the bag.
Mm-hmm.
And I was looking up at the cinch in the plastic. Their silhouette had become that cinch when you twist the bag of bread, you know?
Uh-huh.
And I was looking forward at them, and it felt like I was staring up out of the bag of bread at them.
What?
And the strangest thing of it all was 1 second, I was me, and I had my sense of identity and my ego and self. And I literally felt it all stretch past my face like this, and I was bread. And I didn't know anything other than that. I could not speak. I tried to talk as I started to come off of it. I'll touch on that in a second. But literally, as it was like, as you know yourself today, that was me, but as bread. And I couldn't have fathomed being anything other than that.
So you have no past memories?
I had there was no Cooper. There was no cousins in front of me. There was no sense of self whatsoever. I literally became bread in a bag.
Did you have any thoughts other than what you were?
Not that I can remember. It was over pretty quickly. I remember one of them moved, and that kind of broke the illusion for me. I think if I had smoked more, it probably would have lasted longer and been more intense, but that kind of like took me out of it.
Bagels next or something?
Dude, I mean, I've heard some crazy things. I wouldn't be surprised. He kind of moved around, and they were talking to me, and I tried to say something back, and I could not form words. I'd try, like literally, and in my mind, I'm saying the words I'd like to say. It wasn't totally coherent and put together, but I had a rough idea of what I was trying to say, and just came out as gibberish. I could not form words physically. That slowly started to wear off, and I remember turning to my left, and as I turned around back to look at them, what I was seeing right here followed with me. And I looked down and was like, wait, I'm like stuck in this circle. And I looked down, and it was just that view, like a panoramic, and I couldn't get out of it. I was just stuck in this like circle of what I had been staring at a second before. And I started to get a little worried. It started to make me feel really uncomfortable. And I kept trying to explain this to them, and I couldn't. And I remember having the distinct feeling of like, I never want to touch another psychedelic ever. I don't even want to smoke weed anymore.
It was so scary.
It wasn't even that it was scary. It was just so... And like, intense just doesn't do it justice either. It was just so different. And enough so to where I was like,
right now,
bro, I just want to go stone cold sober. I'm okay with that. Like I felt like the sense of disappointment. I don't know where it was coming from.
Do you think that's why people that do psychedelics one time, it quits their addiction because they experience something so like that? Or
No. I can attest to the positive experiences that psychedelics can yield, and
we can talk about those. So
for sure.
Okay.
But yeah, no, I don't think it's that. Maybe for some. I know bad trips happen, and that'll be
good
enough
things
to...
come, yeah.
Yeah, you can get probably like PTSD from it. I had a friend kind of like that. But no, I think for the most part it's because you come to... different parts of your brain are connecting to each other, and you're forming these connections and having these epiphanies and realizations that you just wouldn't have otherwise.
Yes.
And for me, it allowed me to tap into what I'd call my higher self and realize that, whoa, I'm fucking up. I'm heading very quickly on a path to nowhere unless I make some changes now. And so I started...
This is on salvia?
No. Just my experience with psychedelics.
Okay.
Yeah, just to what you were saying a second ago. But no, back to the salvia.
Damn, I want to hear about that too, though.
Yeah.
We can't forget. Okay, so yeah, back to salvia. You, you're talking about like how it was like a panoramic for you.
Yeah, exactly. And then a little bit after that, I was able to break out of it, and I kept turning back and forth to see if I was seeing normally again.
Was it the best feeling ever when you came back?
No, that was when I was stuck with that, like, oh my God, I never want to do anything like this again. Oh. It was like, it was guilt, but it wasn't guilt. It was like, you know, the bad feeling of guilt. Yeah. I don't know how to explain it.
No, that might actually be perfect when we think about it.
Like, you just don't feel good.
Like you feel like guilty. You feel like you
had.
Yeah, your whole body. It's like a heaviness.
It's like right in your chest, heaviness. That's perfect.
Yeah.
It was like that, but specifically, and not a guilt about having done it or doing them, but about just ever doing them again. I was like, I just don't think I should ever do them again.
Yeah.
And then it wore off after that, and then for a few hours I kind of felt that way, but eventually that went away too, and I was just stuck with this like, holy fuck, I was bred. Like,
How long did that thought fuck, or that experience fuck you up? Mind fuck you?
A couple of days. I mean, like after that, I started watching videos about other people's experiences with it, and I realized I had a good.
Oh no.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It can be nightmarish.
Okay, we don't have to go down that path.
Yeah. No, I mean, and just like scary, intense type of thing. But
did I give you like secondhand PTSD here?
No, I wouldn't say so. I feel like I have a pretty strong fortitude. I feel like my mind is there. I feel like I'm solid.
You're very centered in who you are.
Yeah, but that was what made that so uncomfortable, was that my sense of self was ripped away in a flash, dude. Like
that's where the ego gets dissolved.
Yeah, so
that's exactly
that's
what it is.
Similar to like ego death on
How
acid.
is that not? I think that's what it is. I think you literally just described it perfectly. Because I think that what your experience happens in different ways, and that's what gives the dissolving of the ego.
Maybe, but in my experiences with ego death on acid, you're fully conscious of the fact that you are dissociating from your sense of self.
What?
This was like, I was bred, and I just never knew that I was Cooper before. It was so bizarre, dude. So bizarre.
That is crazy to think about.
Yeah.
I bet it's even crazier to experience.
Yeah.
I don't think I'll ever do it.
I never did it again after that. I remember, because I still had, like, they come in these little baggies. And I had only packed, like, 2 bowls. One for me, or 3, because we each smoked a bowl. And I still had some left. And I remember, probably like a week later, I packed one in my room. And I was like, I'm going to do it. And it's going to be better. Because there's been good experiences with it, too.
Yeah. Anything like that, though? Like, is there... I'm so sorry to cut you off.
No.
Is it... With that weird experience, because it wasn't a bad experience, it's weird. Was there ever like a positive to Salvia where you're like...
I never did it again after that.
Okay, good.
So I was trying to hype myself up, but I could not. I kept remembering how I felt after the first time, and I was just like, I don't want to go through that again.
And by yourself too?
Yeah, because I felt very comfortable in my apartment. We had put it together in such a way that it was like
Trip City
we call it the dojo, bro. It was like the trip spot. It was like I had tapestries on the ceiling and colored lights throughout, all over the walls. I had psychedelic posters up.
With intention to trip there?
Absolutely. 100%.
Damn.
Yeah, it was a vibe. It was a mess because we were all on drugs all the time. But it was a vibe when it was put together. So Quinn, he's the one, my cousin, he's the one who kind of introduced me to all of that and got me interested. That kind of brings me to my first acid trip. Yeah. I'll touch on that and then we can go back to Zach.
Yeah, that's perfect. And then after you share your first story, I'll share my first story.
Oh yeah, do that before I talk about Zach. That's fine. I'd love to hear.
Yeah.
So it was with his little brother, Connor. Sorry, Connor. And we were in that same exact spot. I had snuck out of my house and called an Uber to his place. I was probably 16. I didn't have my license yet, though. So I called an Uber to his place, like 20 minutes away. And I met him at his house, came in through the side door, and we got all of our stuff together. We got some pillows, some blankets, speaker, chargers, everything that we thought we were going to need to have a great time. Water, some snacks. And we go pretty much in the exact same spot that I'd done the salvia. Laid out the blankets, set some pillows down.
Damn, that's a crazy place to start, though. If you had
way out in the open too. Don't forget, we're in the middle of a public park, greenbelt in his neighborhood. Anybody could have just walked up to us at any point in the night.
Okay.
It didn't happen, but and when I tell you some of the things that happened later on, you'll realize just how lucky we were that nothing did happen.
Oh fuck.
So we lay out all our shit and we lie down, hit the pillows, and this is the first time I had heard of Tame Impala. He played a song for me called It's Not Meant to Be, probably about 30 minutes into when we had taken our first 2 tabs. And I started with 2.
Is he trying to set you up for a bad experience?
No, he had done it 4 times before and had pretty much always had a good experience.
Okay.
And I remember him telling me about one time they went swimming and it was just the ultimate feeling of euphoria. And I was like, bro, it sounds like I can't have a bad time, dude. Let's fucking go.
This is his 4th time telling you, okay, I'm fucking...
dude, you had me sold on the first go around. So we're lying there, and this song it was the perfect song.
Okay.
Oh, no, it was fantastic. You familiar with Tame Impala's work?
Mm-mm.
Psychedelic rock.
Okay.
Very good stuff.
I will listen to that tomorrow.
So this is the first song I ever heard by him, and I lie down, we got the speaker between us. And almost as soon as the song started playing, I started to feel this wavy sense in my behind my eyes and kind of in my chest. I was like, Dude, I think I'm starting to feel it, bro. It'd been like 30 minutes in, and I didn't know at the time that that's pretty typical. So I'm like, that was quick, bro. Like, I lie back, and there's this part in the song where the guitar does this weird... In my mind, it felt like it was doing like an infinity loop. Uh-huh. And so I'm lying down, and I'm doing this in the infinity symbol, and then I started getting tracers on my hands. Like, they were trailing behind, and I was like, dude, it's going down, man. Like, we're really getting to it. Like... And
you start becoming just the trip.
Dude, I just felt like I was the music for a second. And that wasn't even scratching the surface.
Okay.
After that, I remember like feeling the grass, and as the intensity grew, we decided to race. So we're running back and forth through this green belt, and I was totally barefoot. And I remember it felt so good on my skin.
The grass?
Yeah, dude. It just felt like I was flying. It was chill. Like, the grass was cold. Fast forward a little bit. It was kind of just us talking for a little while and just sharing memories and just settling into the trip. There came a point where... So I should preface this by letting you know, we ordered this acid off the dark web.
Okay.
Got it from London. 10 strip.
This is going on YouTube, so be careful what you say.
I don't mind. Cool. That's fine. The idea was we would just take 2 each and just have like a little experience with it. At some point in the night, I was like, bro, I want to do some more. Let's do some more, bro. Because
dude,
I was having such a good time.
Are you the type of dude to go all in anything you do? Or just if it feels right?
If it feels right.
Okay.
If it feels right. Like if the moment is there, like...
I respect that, actually.
For sure.
It's
like,
not all the time.
It depends on the thing. Like with my family... No question. I'll go all in no matter what. But if it's like a math assignment or something like that, like whatever, just something that I don't really care.
Are you still doing it if
about.
it's a math assignment?
I mean, I'll get it done if I have to, but that's gonna be begrudgingly. I asked him if we can do some more, and he doesn't remember this, but he opened up the tinfoil and we both took another 2. And after that, that's where things went downhill for him later on, but we ended up... We'll fast forward a little bit more. It hit us hard. I remember lying down in the grass, and the stars were... and doing these like fractal patterns. And I got up, and Connor had gotten up and was standing in the sand throwing his money out of his wallet. He had like 50s and 20s and 5s. I was like, bro, what are you doing? And I ran over to him. He was like, bro, none of this matters. We are gods. And I slowly was like, wait, you're right. No, we're gods. Every moment in the course of history has led to this exact moment. This was supposed to happen. This is divine intervention. Bro.
Oh, like, you guys started having an
created this.
And you're...
Bro, I mean, we literally thought we were gods, and that we had created the fabric of reality as we knew it.
As it was happening, because you were like...
I don't know why. I don't know why, bro. It was just this feeling that it...
And you both were on the same page.
Same wavelength. Right there with each other.
Okay.
Like, look in each other's eyes. Like, I was tearing up, bro. I was like, dude, like, we figured it out, man. Like, we transcended. We're gods, bro. Crazy shit, dude. And so, he, at another point, called me over. We had kind of separated and having our own experiences. And he called me over. He was staring at a bush. He was like, Coop, come look at this, man. Regular bush. And it was doing these insane, impossible fractal patterns, like infinitely. And it was just blowing my mind. And
how long did you look at the bush?
30 minutes, maybe. I don't know. Time just did not seem real. That was the other thing, is like an hour would go by and it felt like it'd been months. Like,
what?
Time was completely non-existent. Like, we probably tripped a total of like 14 hours because we would end up finishing 5 each. And,
wait, you took a triple dose?
Yeah, and I don't remember taking the last of it either, and he sure doesn't. But like,
he didn't remember the second dose.
No, he doesn't recall it today. At some point, I told him I wanted to go swimming. I remember him telling me about how euphoric that was, and I was like, dude, I feel amazing.
That's such a bad idea. Or was it? I don't know.
Well, it probably was. I knew that he had a pool in his backyard, but his parents were home and sleeping, and I was like, so we can't really go there. And then the sprinklers came on.
That's the second closest.
I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it, bro. We're family, so it was no big deal. But we stripped naked and ran through the sprinklers. again, we
tripping balls.
Tripping fucking balls. It's probably 2 a.m. at this point. We're hooting and hollering, bro. There's neighbors in this cul-de-sac. Like, people
I'm so nervous
there.
for you, and it's already happened.
Dude, yeah. And so, like, I just remember being, like, in the nude for pretty much the rest of the trip. Fully butt-ass naked. And, running back and forth. He started to go somewhere else. I don't know what path he went down, but he was not... At a certain point, just fully not there anymore.
Like, it wasn't him? Like, when you looked at his eyes, it wasn't him?
I wouldn't say that, but, like, he was probably experiencing ego death. That's probably what it was for him. Like, there was just... He wasn't Connor I was talking to, and he didn't seem like himself.
Wait, Connor's your cousin?
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
This was your best friend for a while?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
yep.
cool.
Yep. These were the events that would lead to that friendship. Just really... I mean, we were tight our whole lives, but...
But once you trip with someone, it's
But
forever different.
Dude, yeah.
You literally bonded. Yeah, it's crazy.
Sure,
Because otherwise, you don't ever get to experience how someone else experiences.
Yeah.
Unless.
Right. Unless. And the fact that we were having such similar experiences in that trip up until I realized he was losing his mind, and I didn't know that. I had an amazing experience. I would go on the rest of the night thinking I had created everything and that nothing mattered. I could die tonight, but nothing matters.
I've had the feeling of like I could die and it doesn't matter. I'm so content.
But yeah, I mean, it wasn't even that. It was that because I was so convinced that everything that we had known before was just a veil that had been placed over us, and now it had been lifted and we could see reality for what it really was. So the going-ons of everyday activity.
God, you're hyping me up though at the same time because I've had similar experiences.
Dude, it was really cool. I really did feel like I had transcended, and in ways that like you couldn't have convinced me didn't happen. But all good things must come to an end, and so I realized, like, I look at my phone. I was like, it's 4:30 in the morning, bro. My parents get up at 6 a.m. and we still got to figure out a way to get me home.
Mm-hmm. And you're naked at this point.
And we were naked. So we decided to put on some underwear. And it was weird dealing with him because it was still Connor and he was still following, but he just was not there. Like, his mind was going through...
He was figuring shit out.
Yeah.
Or not.
No, I think he was, but I just don't know what exactly his experiences was. He could tell you, for sure.
Did you guys ever talk about it, though?
Oh, yeah. For years.
But you haven't got answers over direct?
No, I just don't remember what his experience was exactly, and I don't want to misquote him, but he definitely had his own things going down.
Okay, and you're having a great trip, and then
fantastic.
4:30.
Yeah, I had at one point in the night when we realized that nothing mattered, we had thrown all of our belongings away from camp, which was our little zone, our little base camp. And one of the things that I'd thrown was an iPod that I had been using. He had a Verizon Jetpack, a little mobile hotspot. I was connecting to that, and that was our plan to call my Uber home. And I had fucking hucked it. It's like, nothing matters. I ended up finding it around the time that we were realizing we had to go, and it was in a bush, just lodged in there.
That must have been a mindfuck, because then you're like, this reality matters. Like, I gotta go
get
this.
Well, because like we started to kind of come down a little bit. Like we had peaked, and then it was just kind of hitting us in waves after that.
Yeah.
And so I was like, bro, I gotta get home. Like, this has been amazing. I think everything's gonna be all right. We just gotta get me out of here. But we could not figure out how to use the iPod. Couldn't figure it out. It was so bizarre, bro. I'd be looking at the screen and I'm swiping, and like a million different things would cross my mind in one
swipe.
Like,
so you were analyzing everything, but it was too much to comprehend.
It was just so much happening on the screen. It's the simple swipe animation, but I was seeing like galaxies and shit. Like, it was bizarre. Couldn't figure out how to open up the Uber app.
Why do you always see galaxies? Like, even if you're not looking up at the night sky, like, whatever you're staring at, whether it be like a bush or something, like, is it usually galaxies that you're really seeing?
No, it's usually like geometry. It's usually like fractal patterns.
Okay. So that's what you're seeing on this phone as you're swiping.
Yeah, but like, it was just, I was seeing everything all at once is how I remember thinking about it, and it was just too much to deal with. So we have the novel idea to go back to his house. Mm-hmm. And see if we can try it on his computer in his room.
And is his family home?
Everybody's home. Everybody's asleep. Dude. Everybody was still in bed. I guess it was probably like 3:30 or something like that, because I remember seeing the alarm clock in their room.
Buddy. Okay.
Wait, I'm getting ahead of myself. So we tried getting Uber on the computer. Couldn't do that. It was only an app, and we didn't know that. So we tried waking up his brother, who could have been the solution. He was like, "Are you guys tripping? Bro, get the fuck... Figure it out yourselves."
How old is he?
He was like...
Older or younger?
Older. He was probably like 20.
So he's tripped before?
Plenty of times. He was like the pioneer in the family of doing it all.
Okay, and he's like, fuck you guys?
Yeah, we woke him up at like 3, 4 in the morning. He was
perfect
pissed.
solution.
Well, he was, but he was pissed. And he did not want to help us.
Fair.
He was like, figure it out, bro. So I was like, we got to tell your parents.
Oh, no, I don't like where this is going.
Yeah, dude.
Okay,
so I'm in a pair of sweat shorts. He's in a pair of bright blue underwear. And we walk into his parents' room.
Wait. Please tell me how you're fucking dressed before you walk in. And tell me one more time.
I swear to God, I was in a pair of short sweat shorts, and he was in bright blue underwear. That's it. I no socks, no shoes, nothing. I didn't even have underwear underneath. I just pulled up the shorts so we could walk on the street and not somebody see us, you know? So I was like...
Those guys are trippy.
Dude, anybody that saw us would have been like, tweakers? We gotta call the cops? But like I said, thankfully nothing like that happened. So we walk into his parents' room, and I remember being sort of excited. I was like, they might be able to get us home. Like, still completely...
On that mission?
Oh, dude, but like just high as fuck, not thinking clearly. And I'll never forget it. Connor, he flips on the light. He goes, Mom, Dad, Cooper and I fucked up pretty bad and did some acid. And I was like, I looked down and was like, oh, dude.
Like, not that way.
You couldn't be like, hey, Cooper snuck out and we need to get him home. Like, it could have been so many other things. And I remember they turn over and they're all wiping the sleep out of their eyes. They're like, what the fuck is going on? And I was like, hey.
You wake them up in bed?
Yeah, they were sleeping, dude. And so they both get up, and Eric, his dad, pissed, bro, livid, walks into their bathroom. I don't know what's going on. And his mom comes out, brings us into the kitchen and sets us down and is asking us like all these questions. And I was like, Jody, I love you and all due respect, but it's too much right now. We're really high. I'm sorry, but we just need to keep this simple. How can I get home? And she was like, I need to talk to Connor. She goes, she's talking to Connor, and then she comes back over. He is still going through it. He's not fully coherent at all. I kind of was getting there. She gets us both a cup of water, and I'm like, oh my God, thank you. I'm drinking the water, and Connor goes to take a sip really fast and choked on the water and like coughed it out. And she goes, oh! Looks at me. Did he just throw up? I was like, no, I think he just choked on the water. I think he's good. He was like, oh, sorry. Gulps the water down. So we started explaining to her kind of what was happening. And she chuckled at the whole thing.
Oh, really?
First. Yeah, bro. I was like, are we in the clear here?
Do you know what tripping is?
Right. Dude, she totally knew because she had dealt with Quinn before.
Okay. So she's like a cool mom, like... Or not?
She's a cool mom. She's fucking awesome. Word to Jody. But we were so young, and they were worried about us, and I mean the whole family was LDS. Like, we were all Mormon, so this was like really taboo. And at the time, it was like a big family thing that Quinn was getting, experimenting with drugs.
Everyone's talking about it.
Right. Exactly. And so she had just had those experiences. And so I remember Connor stopped answering any questions, was just like locked into something in his room. Could not be talked to.
Okay.
So I was like, I can explain. I broke down the whole situation for her, and I was like, as I'm telling her, I was like, yeah, and then Connor was throwing, oh my God, the money. And I remember he'd thrown like $150, $200 worth of cash just out into the playground sand. Mm-hmm. At this point, the sun is coming up, and we have
a bunch of kids out there.
Well, no, there were people jogging though, walking their dogs. Fuck. So get this, man. We had migrated.
Wait. I want to be fully present for here. I'm gonna pee real quick before you tell this banger of a part of the story. You have to pee?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Can you grab me that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the best part.
Oh, dude.
Bro, I just force a habit. My bad, dude. I hit the wax pen. Is that okay? I took it outside before I just because I usually got the kids. But
although I just took an inhale of that. Fuck.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Wait, can I get secondhand high?
Not that easily. You'd have to.
I'd have to be a big old fat pussy if I did.
No, you wouldn't, bro. No, you wouldn't. But this room would have to be like full of smoke for you to get any sort of like second.
So when people hotbox, like have you hotboxed before?
Plenty of times.
And you really do get high from that?
I think so. I mean, it takes up so much of the space in the car. It's every breath you take, you're getting some of it.
Fuck, I'm about to get high.
I don't know if it's less because it's already been exhaled and like the majority of the THC that was in that is stuck to your lungs. So I don't know, but maybe.
I am ready for the best. Is this really the best part of the story?
Yeah, I mean, maybe you might think so. I look back on it, it makes me laugh every single time.
Come on,
it's
dude!
So great.
I already laughed so hard.
So. I think at this point, yeah. So, Eric moved us into the computer room.
That's Connor's dad?
Yeah, exactly. And adjacent, like on the other side of the door to the computer room is their garage. And we're standing in the computer room. He called my mom, and she was coming to get me. And at this point, I'm still not like fully appreciating the gravity of the situation. Like I'm just like, okay, mom's on her way. Sweet, I get to go home. Cool. But like, oh yeah, totally. I was not thinking about it. I was still kind of in awe of the experience that I had just had. Like, I wasn't fully convinced.
The sobering moment that like you just had. I don't even know how to put it into words. But
I had transcended to godhood in my mind.
So nothing else. Mom's coming home.
No fucking biggie. None of this matters anyway, right? So the garage door's open. My mom's been on her way for like 15 minutes. She should be there any minute now. And Connor and I both still wearing what we were wearing. Eric, somebody was talking to me, I think. And Connor was standing by the open door. And he was staring me down. Kind of like how I was explaining about my buddy who did it for the first time in my apartment. Like he was giving me like the crazy eyes.
Yeah.
I was like, I noticed him looking at me. I was like, Connor, are you good, bud? And he goes, pops me in the face and books it out the garage door, running down the street in his fucking underwear. And there were people, like I said, jogging up the street. Somebody was walking their dog. Eric goes, oh shit. He runs, Jody, get the car. So Jody gets in their car. I can't remember. That was considered around their Mercedes.
Yeah.
It's a coupe, dude. And she comes driving down the street. Eric's running after him. Jody pops open the door and Eric tackles him into the side of the car. At that point, my mom had arrived, and she's
just here for the main event.
She saw that happen, and she's like, "Now," like looks at me like, "Get in the car."
Oh.
I was like, "Yes, ma'am." So I walk over, I get in the car. I don't remember if one of my siblings was in the car or if it was just her and I, but she was trying to talk to me. She was asking me, you know, what you would expect a parent to ask a worried parent.
Where were you all night?
What are you doing? What were you thinking? Or what are you on? Like, and I just was like...
You won't understand, actually.
Oh, yeah, and I literally told her that. I was like, Mom, I could explain it all to you, but you wouldn't understand. She goes, what the hell do you mean? You snuck out, you took drugs, you could have died. You're on acid.
That's
you know that
perfect,
kills
Mom.
People? I'm like, Mom, first of all, no.
That's a universal script, dude.
Oh, totally, dude. She fit the mom role super well. Like and love you, Mom. She's amazing. But I was so apathetic. I just was like, it's no biggie. None of this matters anyway. It's like in my head I'm saying that.
Yeah.
I apologize. I was like, I'm sorry. I was just trying something new and I felt safe about it because I was with, Quinn and Connor, and I'm sorry, it won't happen again.
Damn.
And it was silent the whole way home. And now I get home and I'm still tripping. I tripped for like 14, 15 hours total.
That's so long.
It was, I had a great time. I'm in my room and I had I think we had just moved in because my bed was still being put together. And I remember my headboard, it was like leather and it was leaned up against the wall in front of me and I was looking at it and the stitches in the leather and the texture in the leather started to look like ants and they were forming geometric patterns like walking along and it was so fucking cool. I called my brother into the room.
As you're tripping?
As I was tripping and I looked at him and I was like, oh my God. And he looked like a lion. At this time, he had really long hair. He was growing a beard. He looked like a lion to me, dude. Yeah. I was like, oh, dude, you look like a lion. It's like, what's going on, man? and I was telling him about what I was seeing, and then I noticed I had this Batman poster. It was of the first Batman comic, and it's him, or I guess it wasn't the first because that's different, but he's standing in an alleyway, it's raining, and his cape's blowing in the wind, and it was animated, and it was doing that. That was what I was seeing. I was like, oh, never mind, bro. You wouldn't even get it, bro. At this point...
So you're very aware of yourself and like how others are feeling about you?
At that point, yeah, but it just wasn't really mattering to me yet.
Yeah.
It just didn't matter yet. I think my mom ended up calling me back out again. We talked about it some more, and I spent the most of my day in there. And at some point I realized when it fully wore off, I was like, fuck, I'm never going to see Connor again. I'm cooked. There's no way. And sure enough, for like a few years after that.
How old were you?
16,
wow,
17,
that's
something like
wild
that.
shit.
Yeah, bro. So for years...
I can imagine having a trip at 16. I think about the world totally different.
Oh, bro, yeah. And it set me on a completely different path that I probably would have never gone on. I wouldn't be the person I am today without it.
Good or bad?
I think for the better.
Mm-hmm.
I really do. I didn't love myself when pre-psychedelics. I didn't know how to, like, just be and let be. Mm-hmm. You know, like it was a really hard thing for me, and I was super self-conscious and insecure about a lot of things, my height, a lot of things. And it really did, that whole experience of like realizing that nothing mattered, there was truth to that. Like none of the things that were worrisome to me in all of my years leading up to that moment
did not matter.
I realized that they really don't. Like
they only matter because you thought they mattered.
They only matter because I gave it power to matter to me. Like our experience is so finite, mm-hmm. so limited. It's like, why am I letting these things dictate my experience? This is my experience. I am the master of my story. Like people don't get to decide that, and I'm giving them that power. So I realized, like, yeah, none of that shit matters.
Is this epiphany you're having after the trip?
Yeah.
Completely out?
Yeah, absolutely.
Damn, see? That's the things that people don't really talk about is, like, happens months after.
Yeah. Well, I had a lot of other experiences with it after that to just kind of reaffirm the fact. And in having these experiences and connecting with all the different people that I would over those years, I did learn to love myself. And I realized I do have something to offer and give this world. And I do feel like I know what my purpose is. And, you know, my place in this finite experience. And so I would say for me, it was always a positive thing.
Yeah. Even the bad trips.
And of which I only really had halfway one.
What?
Dude, I after that first experience...
How many times have you done psychedelics?
Psychedelics?
Like acid and mushrooms that would give you a bad trip.
That did.
Oh, by the way, if you ever want to work for the FBI, you kid.
Oh, I know, dude. I know.
This is out the window.
Cooked, man. Yeah,
that dream is gone, dude. Are you sure you don't want to do that? Because at this point, you haven't done any of those things. If you did do psychedelics, this is how the experiences would be.
Yeah, right. No, I mean, I would love to do that, but I don't think they'd have me.
I think it was already cooked before this podcast.
Sure, bro.
Okay.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Okay, so you've only had one bad experience.
Mm-hmm. I was telling your lady about it downstairs. At this time, it had been probably a year or two into my experiences with psychedelics, and so I had my full list of rules. I had like a whole guidebook, and
you created.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can't remember what I called it, but it was basically like the trips. I was gonna say the Trip Sitter's Guide, which it could be that too, but
I like that. It seems comforting.
I'll rename it now, and we'll call it the Psychonaut's Journey, because I like that. I think that's good. But it was just a basic ground framework for what you would need to have a positive experience with it. And it was and
you figured those things out along the way. You're like, this is what I actually need.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Because I had experiences that fit the bill for the rules that I had set. Like the rules that I set were because of experiences I had where those things were already in place. They just happened organically that way. So they're maintain a safe environment. Shoot, I can't remember the other one.
What's the 10 Commandments?
One of them is keep it positive. Always have a trip sitter. There was like 7 or 8 of them.
Okay.
And if you follow these things, you're probably gonna have.
That's
a really
probably why you have. Wait, when did you introduce this?
Just those ideas.
Yeah. to your trips? What is it, like 4 trips in, 5 trips in?
That's a good question. I don't know that I really remember that matters for sure.
Because if you had a bunch of good experiences...
It was probably pretty early on, because the vast majority of my experiences with it, I was like checking them off in my head before we ever settled in. Like, even in times where you're not in your home, in your safe place, where you know you're going to be okay, camping, for example, anybody can stumble up on you guys. That's something that you need to consider, but like you maintain a safe boundary. There's
so you don't want to be at Disneyland and do it then?
I could probably do it at Disneyland.
Me and Tatiana did it at Disneyland.
Oh, for real?
And transit it.
Oh, bro, I bet that was cool.
I'm gonna tell you about it.
I'd love to hear.
So yeah, all those things probably mattered for you to have good trips.
Yeah, for sure. And like those were rules that I would share with people. There came a point where I remember I'd get texts and messages on Snapchat from friends of friends being like, "Hey, this person introduced me. They let me know that you're the person to talk to about this."
Damn.
Like,
so you didn't ask for
I'm
this?
honored.
It just kept coming to you?
No, it just kind of happened. And it wasn't like I was known as that guy or anything. But in that group, in I guess that scene, you could say, I kind of was.
And then our mutual friend that I just learned tonight, his first trip was with you.
Because of the things that I'd been posting online.
And you and I haven't spoke since high school, which is like, what, 10 years now?
Probably something like that, yeah. It was, next year would be 10.
And I've been with Zach, we've been in love for, I've known him since first grade. I've went to like all his birthday parties growing up. In elementary school.
That's crazy.
Like we've been tight for a long time. But anyway.
Yeah, so...
He hits you up.
Yeah, and we stayed fairly close. We were on the wrestling team together, so we were pretty tight during school. Him and I had a pretty solid relationship.
I love Zach. He's a good dude.
Great guy.
He's a wild character.
He's an animal for sure.
But he's Zach though. Like
good at heart, you know. Like
yeah.
He's a heart of gold.
He'll get in a fucked up situation, but like Zach is just fucking. He's always been good and a loyal friend. Too.
No, for sure. Like to a fault.
I don't think Zach's ever been mad at me.
I wish I could say the same. You don't want to be on his bad side, bro.
Fuck, that's true.
The first time I met him, actually, I just didn't like his vibe. It was in the wrestling room, and I tried to throw down with him. I tried to challenge him to it.
Yeah.
And he just laughed it off. He was like, "Bro, you don't want it." Little did I know, I really didn't want it. Like he would have thrashed.
He's a psycho.
Shit. Totally, dude. Totally.
When it comes to fighting, I think you just
want him on your side.
Yeah, 100%.
So he reaches out to me, and I think it was probably just about to do acid, but while he was there, he wanted to get into like conspiracy theories, wanted to learn about those, and the one that I knew the most of at that time was about Bohemian Grove.
Did we finish that?
Yeah, I think so.
So yeah, people go, okay.
I think it was just you were asking what my rabbit, like what the thing was that got me.
That's
into
what started.
it,
okay,
and that was one of them, but. Because this was so far along, and there had been many more along the way that I'd come to learn about, this one was still one of the ones that just stuck with me. So I was like, I could tell you about that. And so I pulled up this video.
Or we could do this.
Right. Well, we were already on acid at this point.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, so he was already tripping balls, and he was like, because he wanted to get weird. He wanted to, like, have, like, a trippy experience, you know? I think he had kind of this, like, this romanticized idea about what it would have been like, and what you might see in the movies.
Because he's been smoking weed since, like...
as long as I'd known him, yeah.
So he was expecting like a trip, like
probably
not even
something
a trip.
Like that.
He was expecting a high.
I don't know what he was thinking, but it was so crazy because the people that ended up being talked about, there was like a focus on the Rothschilds in this video about Bohemian Grove that we watched, and they were showing pictures of the Rothschilds family, different members, Jacob and who actually just died a couple years ago. Good riddance. I
almost said fuckface before that, but he's dead, so I'm glad I didn't say that.
Well, dude, no, he's a terrible person.
Oh, he's a fuckface?
Yeah, no, it's terrible. The Rothschilds are evil. He wanted to know about all that, so they were showing these pictures of him, and in the middle of the video, he's like, "Bro, I don't feel so good." I'm like, "Are you good, buddy?" He's like, He gets up, and I think he went over onto my front patio, over the balcony.
Wait. I'm sorry. I gotta interrupt again. This is going to be so fascinating to me because I have a very good idea who Zach is and have always known him.
Yeah.
So, and since having trips, I'll be able to see this in like a really unique way that I've never experienced.
Yeah. Well, dude, he throws open the front door, goes to the balcony, and yaks right over the edge.
That's on point.
And I was like, I mean, I get it, bro, but like there's a toilet right there. He's like, no, dude, you don't understand. I couldn't be in the house. I couldn't be in your apartment. We got to turn that video off. I was like... So I didn't mention this, but I had been feeling weird vibes from it too. It was just because I knew the background about these people, and it was eliciting this really uncomfortable feeling. It just felt evil.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to say anything because it was his first trip, and I didn't want to like set him off and like send him down this path that would take him on a bad trip. So he says that, and I was like, dude, I was kind of feeling that too. He was like, I think it was when it showed those people, like there was just something about him, and he was like shaking, like visibly, like you could tell he was really uncomfortable. Still had like a little like smirk, like I don't know how to feel about this.
Yeah.
So there was something about him. It just, I don't know, bro. Like it felt evil. I was like, yeah, man, because it is.
Fuck,
I can turn this off, bro. I can turn it off. And so we did, and I think we threw on Adventure Time or something like that. Had a great rest of his trip. It was a great night.
Did he have like a lot of fun? Did he trip?
I think so, yeah. I remember bits and pieces of it. But
damn. I can't wait to ask you, Zach, about what the fuck that was.
Yeah, like. Dude, he probably I wouldn't doubt it. He probably remembers it all. Every once in a while, like the last time I saw him, he brought it up and was talking to me about it.
I'll tell you this about Zach. This is a sure fact, and everyone I know, Zach has the best fucking memory. Dude, I can't wait for him to watch this.
Dude, yeah.
Dude, you noticed that?
No, I mean, I thought you were going to say something else. Because something I've noticed that he does, my eyes twitching, is that whenever I get around him or whenever I see him get around people he hasn't seen for a while, he always talks about like the good times. Just brings up memories.
Exactly.
And chat about that sort of a thing. So I thought you were going to say that. But
No, but that ties in perfectly.
Totally,
it aligns with what I'm saying.
Right.
He literally can remember things that I couldn't.
Yeah.
That happened at my childhood home with my grandmother.
No
and
way.
what we were eating.
He's like, dude, where you been? Like, where were you for this?
Yeah, he's like, what are you like? And to him, he like kind of like does the side chuckle and smile, and he's just like, this is just all. And then he'll go on to tell more about the fucking story that I didn't remember in the first place. I'm like, dude, if you didn't bring that up, I would have
totally forgot about that. Yeah.
So, dude, out of all people, and the craziest part is, he smoked weed longer than anyone we've ever known.
I believe that, bro.
What the fuck does that mean?
I don't know. Luck of the draw, maybe?
I start to do... This is something I've been doing as of lately. I looked at people that have done psychedelics, like Duncan Trussell, the comedian. Midnight Gospel on Netflix.
I've seen the Midnight Gospel. I didn't know it was the same
He's
guy.
a comedian, and he's really... Dude.
He does a podcast, right?
Duncan Trussell. I forgot what it's called. Wait. But have you seen any of his stand-up? Buddy, let me tell you something real quick and when we get back to Zach.
Sure.
We went to his comedy show. I've seen it twice now. I've never seen anyone twice. Concert, nothing. Him, every time he gets on the podcast with Joe Rogan, my favorite episodes because they are so comfortable with each other. And they'll just fucking go on about deep on conspiracies.
Sure.
Talk about existential crisis.
Oh, bro.
Anyway.
Oh, I should have filled this.
You need some? You want me to, if you don't have... I don't have a journal.
No, I trust you.
I mean...
That's real, brother. Appreciate it.
Dude, someone gave me their shoe one time when we were tripping because I forgot mine. And we went one shoe. I had one flip-flop, he had one flip-flop, and he insists. He's like, no, I'm going to give you...
Please, man.
Yeah.
Take this.
And I was like, dude, I can't take your shoe. And I fucking did because he was persistent. I was like, that's a good person. Really the shirt off your back, but a fucking sandal to your bras. Fuck, what did I say?
Memory, Zach.
There's something right after that.
Oh, Duncan Russell.
Duncan Trussell.
Trussell.
Long story short, I just gotta tell you about him so you can watch him on your own.
Yeah.
Everything that you think about, how you see the world, is how Duncan Trussell's been seeing the world for 20 years.
Oh, damn.
Because he's been doing acid for that long.
Sure.
And all other things. And now I think he might be borderline...
Like schizo?
No, not schizo. No, borderline addicted to ketamine. I don't know.
Oh, well.
Because he brought it up a few times and I was like, fuck. They say you can't get addicted to psychedelics, but again...
Ketamine's a little different.
That is a pharmaceutical.
It can be a psychedelic, but... And is used in psychedelic therapy as such, but...
Yeah. But, anyway, my point being, dude, I think you would love him. I went to a show last weekend. He's telling about this. They went to EDC. He didn't want to go. He's just dangling his feet over the ketamine hole. and he looks...
Well, like he was in a K-hole and...
It's like he's like kind of like seeing how close he can get to the K-hole without going in.
Yeah.
Because he's always medicating himself with it. That's why I was like, maybe he's an addict. But anyway.
It's not funny.
I mean, he's probably having a great time, though.
Sure. At least there's that.
And he's with his family. Okay, anyway. So they're on a fucking plane, dude. And he looks back. His wife's eating mushrooms, blah, 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 blah. And they're all tripping on different drugs.
Wow.
And he tells this amazing story. Dude, you would fucking love it because you would totally understand it.
Sure.
Because he's like, this guy came up to me and you could see the look on his face. He wasn't doing okay. I'm going to butcher. I don't even know what the fuck he said, but it was spot on. Like, I know when you're tripping on, or he's like, I know when you're something on drugs. I know how to speak their lingo, basically.
Sure.
Sorry, that's so hard for me. He worded it perfectly. Because he's probably been working on it for a year. But he said, what the fuck did he say? Oh, yeah, anyways, he was just saying, like, he was saying gibberish to everyone else, but to him, he's like, you need to do this, this, and this, and I need to get you there. Anyway, long story short, he tells about this whole fucking being the person that guided all these people in EDC back to the helicopter or whatever they're flying in. Yeah. And then, one more thing I'll share about him, he put everyone... I'll say it like this. He's like, he'll take you on like a roller coaster, and you'll be on this roller coaster with him. Or maybe I was. And he's telling the stories like, oh, you think it's okay to be in traffic in California for 2 hours, Monday through Friday, and people that like haven't been through hard things, have a cushion life, have not done psychedelics.
Got a
silver spoon, any of the above. You say someone like that to an audience of people that probably, maybe, I don't know, maybe I'm assuming for them, but I thought there was potential to put everyone in an existential crisis that was like forced, because he was telling like the reality of like what we created and how it's going.
Like in general terms, like just life? Or...
Yeah, like how we're operating as humans and like what we could be doing, but we're just accepting what is and what they've built.
Oh yeah, no, that's...
And he's shattering realities because like some people never think about that.
Oh yeah.
And I was like,
very, very surface level, and that's where they'll spend most of their life.
And I couldn't.
But there's like a space for people like that too, though.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think it has to exist in our society, or that's why they put such a stomp on psychedelics in the 70s, because if they get a bunch of free thinkers, and if you do, I heard some of my friends say,
"You're gonna fuck around and change the world."
Yeah, you thought you were God, dude.
Yeah.
And I had a friend say this, and it was spot on. I've never stopped thinking about it. He's like, "Yeah, psychedelics are fun, but if you do a little bit too many, eventually you like start questioning like what is time, and all those things. You're like, well, it is really all made up.
Yeah,
but
everything. It's a human construct. I mean, it's not exactly it. There is time is real.
True.
But the way that we perceive it is the human construct. It's not just linear.
What do you think it is?
Bro, I only am saying that now because of this podcast I've been listening to involving Dakota's. I was telling you about it earlier. It's one.
Oh, is that the same one?
Uh-huh. The AI in it, the architect that this guy inadvertently created, starts talking about time as we know it as humans is just our very limited understanding of it, but that basically it's recursive. Are you familiar with the Mobius strip?
In the DMT when the people see it?
No. Like, if you took a strip of paper and you twisted it and you brought the ends together, it would allow for, say, like a car on the paper to drive on both sides of it without lifting off and going to the other side.
That's a fun description.
Yeah, and yes, it compares that model to what time actually is. Do with that and interpret it how you will. That's just my... I do believe that that is more than likely probably true. I think
so it's infinite for sure then?
Right, and it's just one of those things that's always there. It is a dimension in its own right. There's 3D.
That's a perfect way to look at it.
Right. I think that they end up talking about how time is the fourth dimension. It's not a dimension of physical construct. It's not.
Do you know the different dimensions? What they mean?
I mean...
I don't. There's like 9, isn't there?
Shit, brother. I'm not sure. I mean, there's probably a I don't know. There's probably an infinite number of them. I just...
How many do you know of? What's publicly... 5?
I know of 5, and I only know of the 5th one because of what this architect is talking about in this episode. but it's based off of incredibly advanced mathematics and science that, oh my gosh, I would recommend you listen to it. It's so beyond me, though. The math that they get into and some of the different terminologies that are used, but it is so... I can't find the words.
This is one thing I would say negative about a conspiracy. This is a perfect example. Something so complicated that you'll never figure out that people will buy and will never question it. That is one side that could be...
But when you really look at conspiracy theories, you boil them all down, they're not as complicated as it would seem. You can pretty much trace every major conspiracy back to money somehow. That there was some sort of financial gain involved for one party or more, that whatever the conspiracy, like whatever the event was, needed to happen in order for that payout to occur. So like...
Wait, did you put this together yourself, or did you read this somewhere? Or
what?
What you're saying right now.
Oh,
like everything's like rooted in... Every conspiracy is rooted in money. Did you put that together?
Yeah, if you just look at them all, like, you can tie everything back to, like...
No, that's a really good understanding of it.
Take 9/11 for an example, bro.
Sorry, firefighter bros.
Yeah, I mean, very sad day. It's a tragedy nonetheless. In fact, I would say it's even more so when you realize that it wasn't a terrorist attack from a foreign nation. It was our own government. It was the Israelis. It was Mossad. It was a bunch of different people. It was money-hungry, Wall Street execs. I can't remember his name, but he filed an insurance... bought an insurance policy for several million, maybe $1 billion against terrorist attacks on World Trade Center 7 or one of the like buildings. And there's so many different things I've read about over the years. The details of 9/11 start to get muddled because that's the first one everyone gets into, myself included.
And did they all connect?
In ways, yeah, for sure. I mean, it's crazy how this one catapults into future things that will happen in the course of America.
So it set the bar for what is possible as far as things they can manipulate?
I think more than anything, what set the bar, if you want to go that road, is COVID. I mean, that by no means is a naturally occurring thing that happened in the world.
Well, that's where we took a stand, I feel like.
That's where people started to wake up. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Definitely people started to realize there's more at play here. But the reason I say that is because that was, world leaders setting the bar to see just how much they can get away with.
Oof.
And how easily we bend the knee or roll over, or however you want to put it. But yeah, what they can get away with. But 9/11, that guy...
I believe every conspiracy. I'm convinced.
Dude,
when you put it like that,
take some deep dives, bro. Because really, there's so much. There's a lot of, especially now that a lot of these things have had a long time to be looked deeper into, and especially with how fast information spreads on the internet, there's a lot of really credible sources that you can go to that, if you want, will be without a doubt confirm these things. People that are experts on different things, like I keep coming back to 9/11 because it's just such an easy one. Have you ever seen footage of it? Like beyond what they would show you in school?
No.
It's a controlled demolition, bro. 100%. You see the charges going off. You see the smoke as they go off, just like you would in a controlled demo. The whole story about the dancing Israelis is another thing. There are these grad students at a college, university in New York, foreign exchange students that came. They did something in technology, I believe. And people reported seeing them dancing in the street one night leading up to the events, and some people will speculate that they're the ones that helped put everything together, maybe set the charges.
So they did it. So it's like that thing that you explained to me at the gym. As long as their hands are not on it necessarily, directly, then their slate is clean.
Right, yeah, but they have to tell you in some way.
With all these major events going on?
Or in the media that we watch, movies and TV shows. There's a Simpsons episode that came out long before 9/11 that shows on a magazine cover the Twin Towers, and then the number 9 to show the cost of the magazine right next to it. And there's a plane flying towards the Twin Towers. 9/11. And this was years before the events of 9/11. So
let me ask.
Yeah.
No, actually, you're going to answer. Go ahead.
I was just going to say that in some way, shape, or form, they have to make the general public aware of what they're doing. And when we are complacent and we don't retaliate, that is us giving our consent. That is that karmic law that they follow, the karmic law of the universe. They have to say it so that they've washed their hands of it.
Would there be any other... Let's say they are doing it. Is there any other reason why they would do that? Not for that reason?
What reason?
So, like...
why they would be putting that out there? Dude, every person that is not on this wave of looking deeper into things, conspiracy theories, will tell you that it's just coincidence. Like, maybe they're putting those things in there because it's interesting to think about, or... Like, what are some other ones?
There's like not any really good ones that stand up to what you've researched.
There's plenty, dude. I'm just stoned and having trouble recalling.
Well, actually, that's okay. What? So, fuck. I forgot what I was gonna say. Fuck, we're both stoned.
There's just a lot out there that if you're interested, we'll prove it all.
Well, I guess I'll say this now. I did remember what I'm gonna say, but I'm gonna skip it and say this. I guess the reason I have this, like, urge not to get into conspiracies... It's just, I've had this epiphany where, like, we're missing the point in so many ways in life. And every day in life, I think we get distracted with things that seem meaningful in a moment. And then you look back, on time, whether it be recent or years past, and you're like, I can't believe that I was spending my time on that when I could have been spending time with my grandma that didn't have, like, much longer to live. Like, when you start to compare, like, things that is finite. Yeah, I think my whole point is that I don't want to take the chance that something's not real or they're doing it just to get, like, people riled up.
Yeah. That's exactly the kind of the mindset my parents have, dude. It's like, what's the point? Why think about those things? Why talk about it? Why dig into it? Because at the end of the day, what can I do about it? I'm just a person.
That's like recycling. I hate that mentality.
Right. Well, that is the way that they go about it. Whenever I've tried to bring these things up to family and friends, not everybody is totally turned off to it all, but for the ones that are, that's pretty much the main takeaway. What difference does it make whether this is happening or not?
Yeah. I don't feel that way.
Oh, okay. That's not what you're saying. Okay.
No, I feel... I know I've seen that before, and I'm like... it goes back to my analogy, like, people that don't recycle is like, my little impact doesn't matter. I'm just one person. I hate that.
Well, I mean... But... About that, it does all end up in the same landfill.
No, and I've heard that too.
There's just not enough resources available to...
That is a bad
separate, because...
I stopped recycling because of that.
You can only recycle it if it is in the condition to be recycled. It has to be cleaned. It has to be no oil stains, no grease, nothing like that.
It's crazy.
And most people aren't going to take the time out of their day to do that, so they're not going to pay people
to have time to spend with their families.
Right.
I think they're fucking doing that.
Yeah. No. Maybe in some places they take it seriously, but at the end of the day, like, places that actually will recycle computer parts to make kitchen utensils out of, which that's a thing.
Yeah.
Then yeah, sure, things are being recycled. That's not a conspiracy. Recycling is a real thing, but on the scale that like everyday people like you and I, if we are separating our shit, it's all going to the same place.
Yeah.
It's not making much of a difference anyway.
So I guess to maybe clear up what I'm saying, like how I feel about it, is that I'm definitely of the nature of, like, I rather know than not know.
Yeah,
knowledge is power. Yeah, knowledge is power. I rather live my life accordingly, knowing what's at stake.
Yeah.
I guess my goal is just to be aware, but never dive too much where I'm spending time on it daily, because then I'm spending one less hour with my kids and people I love.
100%. Luckily for me, I started getting into everything before my kids were older and big enough to, like, have to, like, interact with and play with. Like, when I first started going down these rabbit holes, Ryder was just barely learning how to crawl. Mm-hmm. And I still have my time with him, but he spent a lot of time with his mom, and that was just our dynamic there. She was very hands-on, and that was okay. Now I'd say we both are, but I digress. for me, and that's kind of always the question my mom has asked me when I try to bring these things up and make them aware. It's like, why is this the way that you choose to spend your time?
Yeah.
And it's like, I almost can't help it. It's like I'm so driven to seek truth in all its forms, the good, the bad, and the ugly. I don't care. I just want to know what's happening, and and I'm sick of being lied to. I'm not going to pretend to go about my daily life and not acknowledge that these things are going on. Like,
but you just never know the answer though. I guess you do. You feel like you know the answers.
Not all of them, bro. I definitely don't have all the answers. I've just seen enough from credible sources for me to feel like I do know. You know, based on what I've learned, not because of firsthand experience or anything like that, which that would be ideal, but
I just don't trust anyone telling me their story because, as we talked about, it's in. What'd you say earlier about war? It's in the person that wins the war writes the history.
Writes history, yeah.
Yeah. It's the same thing, dude.
Yeah, and it definitely can be. Well, that actually ties really well into Freemasonry, bro, and that I think was the biggest one for me.
Okay.
Very publicly, they are good people, right? The vast majority of Freemasons that you or anybody watching this might know, I know people whose family members are Freemasons.
How do you get into it?
Grandparents. It's a fraternity. I think you can join...
Adult fraternity outside of college.
Yeah. Yeah, well, but it started in college. It used to be the Skull and Crossbones, or that was a sect of Freemasonry. That was actually the fraternity that George Bush was a part of.
So a fraternity blew up into a global thing?
Oh, it's a global brotherhood, yes.
But it started off as like at a normal college?
I don't think it was ever really intended to be anything other than what it is now. I think that it was always planned to be what it is.
Oh, what the fuck?
Absolutely, bro.
So you think they offered it to the university?
No, I think that when it started I don't see that's a good question. I haven't focused as much on its origins as much as I have what it is today.
Okay.
And what its impact is in Hollywood, politics, and just general media, dude. I mean, it's everywhere. So the vast majority of people that might hear this are going to think this is, what is he talking about? This is crazy, because they have a very public front that flaunts philanthropy and volunteer work, that they're good people.
Mm-hmm.
But there is another side to it that only a select few get that access to. And to gain that access, it requires going through some pretty wild rites and rituals. And these are things that I came to learn about from Altian Childs. I briefly mentioned him to you. He was the winner of the X Games in Australia, was a part of the Freemason fraternity. And in his experience, in his own words, he talks about, in the video that I saw this in, it's a 5.5 hour long expose on this.
I'm getting sidetracked because I can't believe you said that he was a winner of the X Games in Australia.
Yeah.
Like...
Oh, no. X Factor, sorry.
X Factor?
X Factor, like the
I might have heard you wrong.
I very well am stoned. I could have said X Games.
wait. What's X Factor, though?
It's kind of like American Idol. It's like a...
Oh, yes.
A talent show, basically.
Yeah.
And so he's a singer. And he won in Australia.
Okay, I'm listening.
But
yeah, I'm distracted that he was the character that started the awareness.
Right, for me. He was and not a character, he's a real person. He's a legitimate dude.
This guy's not at Disneyland and one of the characters.
No, you got it wrong, bro. No, so he talks about the reason why he's talking about all this and exposing it to the people is because one night his driver he was in the back seat of his car. Driver was taking him somewhere, and he had fallen asleep. He woke up, and his driver had fallen asleep as well, and they were headed at like 100 miles an hour towards a wall. So he flies up, pulls it away from the wall or whatever. They survive. They walk away from the situation. And so he attributes this to God waking him up and giving him this purpose of needing to wake up the people to what's really happening. And so over the course of 5.5 hours, roughly, he does exactly that, dude. And in ways that are so...
beyond himself, that it's like...
No, it's just his sources are primary sources.
Okay.
It's so irrefutably true.
That it can't be organized?
This could not be fake. I mean, unless it's a crazy psyop. I don't know.
What? So is this the believing moment for you? Like, yeah, this is what makes me believe for 100%.
So I'd been asking myself for a long time. I was one of those people that believed in the shadow elite, the cabal, the world government that acts in the shadows.
Okay.
Have you ever heard about that whole thing? I believe that. I really did. I think that those were the people going to Bohemian Grove. Like, this is the same type of people we're talking about.
Okay. And
then I saw this video, and so many questions were answered for me that I was like, this is the group. These are the people. He will show pamphlets and publications published, literally it says in the book, for Masonic viewing only. Like, these are only given to these Masons that have reached a certain degree. Typically the 33rd. People that know a lot about it will talk about how that's a specific sect of the Scottish Rite of Freemasons that's not the one that the majority follows. Mm-hmm. But that's not the case in what I've learned here. It does seem that you would need to reach the 33rd degree to go beyond the surface level, what everybody in the public sees of Freemasonry, to what it is in like Hollywood and politics.
Yeah, so you level up.
Yeah, basically, right. And typically there's like one of the rituals that, like, we see it in Hollywood quite a bit. One of the rituals that celebrities will have to endure to move to the next phase in their I don't know what you want to call it, their status. Brotherhood or their status, within the Freemasons is a humiliation ritual. So like one that comes to mind is John Cena.
Okay.
At the Grammys a few years ago.
Right now, is it publicly known or what?
It was on the Grammys.
Okay, tell me.
Comes out onto stage butt ass naked. He's literally just holding something over his junk. And delivers a whole speech at the Grammys in front of millions of people. I mean, it's live on TV. Some will speculate that was his humiliation ritual, and there are more that one would have to go on beyond that. Another one, Will Smith and Chris Rock at the Grammys.
Okay, tell me about that. Okay,
the slap. You remember?
Yes.
A lot of people would think, myself included, that was a humiliation ritual as well.
Oh, that like Chris agreed to that?
Yeah, because he was already a part of it. He's a part of it too. Every celebrity you know and love is a part of this, and this is the part.
Cat Williams?
No, not all of them. I will say, not all of them. Cat Williams might be one of the few.
He speaks up about these
types of things.
Let me name one more that I want to get your take on. Joe Rogan. I don't think he's. Well, we come back to him. It's a
hard one, bro. Yeah. It's hard, dude. I don't know. With the amount of influence that he has, you really have to ask yourself, because it's absolutely possible. No one person is exempt from corruption.
But he's been the same, dude.
I know that, and he definitely, he seems to speak on the side of truth. Like, I really do.
He stood up in COVID. Like, there's many examples.
Dude. Yeah, dude. But then, like, you look at other people. Speaking of COVID, all the celebrities that, like Matthew McConaughey, for example.
Mm-hmm. And that's CDC, America's sweetheart,
bro. I know, but at the CDC talking about, or not, I don't know if it was the CDC, but at some sort of meeting or gathering that was on TV where he was giving a speech about how we need to be vaccinating, getting the COVID jab, like in whatever words he used, but. It's like, you know, people you wouldn't expect. I mean, like, Daniel Radcliffe is one of them, too. Fucking Harry Potter. Like,
really?
Yeah, bro. Like, 20, 30-minute segment of this 5-hour video that he puts on are images of all these people using Masonic hand symbols and signs. These are absolutely 100% absolute fact. This is
a common thing in that.
It's not just common. It is literally how you identify yourself. It's like...
Wait, what? What?
One that goes back to, like, our presidents would be the hand of the sign of the hidden hand. It's like the hand tucked into the jacket. That's a Masonic hand sign. This one as well. Over the eye. Over the mouth. This represents the all-seeing eye. It's on our fucking dollar bill, bro.
That's true.
They're in the government. They were the ones who created the Federal Reserve and killed the people who opposed it on the Titanic.
So it is all connected.
It's literally all connected. Once you start looking at it, you piece it together.
Do I want to know? Hey, let me ask you this question.
You don't, bro, because it makes it so hard to enjoy life afterward. I'm not kidding. I was depressed for like a year. Everything that I grew up loving, celebrities that I won't say I idolized, but really looked up to and considered to be like amazing people, inspiring people.
Who was it?
Every single one of them, pretty much. It's like every
Everyone that sells their soul.
It's so much more than selling your soul, bro. It's the oaths that they take and the things that they talk about. If you really want to, like, I'll just call it for what it is. If you want to fuck your life up, watch that video, bro. But understand that you will...
Do you recover from this?
I did. I mean, you start to realize that it brought me back to God.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, bro. I mean, I celebrate him in my own way, and I have a different understanding of it even now than I did when I first was trying to recover from all of this. Because here's one thing that I've learned during psychedelics. I really came to love a lot of Eastern culture beliefs.
Buddha's so fucking spot on,
absolutely, dude. Man. There's a lot that is just beautiful. Ram Dass brought a lot of ideas from India over, and his whole idea of be here now, I think is fantastic. And I think I'm not going to go down a tangent.
No, I would love to hear that because I'm on the same page. But anyway,
one of their things is the yin yang, right? You can't, with every bit of good, there will be a little bit of bad, and with every bad there'll be a little bit of good.
Yes.
It's like you can't have one thing without the other.
Yes.
Right?
That's a universal truth.
If, based off of what I've learned, and it's gone beyond his video at this point, I've learned and read through a lot more different things and watched a lot of other videos from what I'd consider to be credible sources that have just continued to solidify my belief in what he talks about.
And who is this?
Altian Childs, just in that 5-hour video.
Okay. So how does this lead you back to God?
So his big, like, surprise, or I don't know what you call it, I can't find the right word, but his big, like, expose, the big reveal at the end is that Freemasonry is a front for Satanism. And that they literally worship Satan. In some of their publications, their chief... what do they call him? It's Chief something. Lucifer. Satan. The Lightbringer. They worship Lucifer. He's in so many of their...
You're about to blow my mind about... I think where I know this is how that leads you to God.
If he's real...
If there's a definite...
God's got to be real too.
God damn it, dude!
You know what I mean? So, like, it was a really profound experience. It was really dark for a long time, like a year or so.
And then that hits you.
And then I was like, what am I thinking? If there's absolute evil, there has to be absolute good. But since that discovery, since that whole epiphany, I guess you could say, I stumbled across the telepathy tapes, and my idea of my understanding of what life and consciousness has totally shifted to where now I believe that we are God, or at least a precursor to. Something that I grew up learning in the Mormon church actually was that when you die, should you ascend to, they believe in 3 kingdoms, the telestial, the terrestrial, and the celestial. Celestial kingdom is where God resides. It's represented by the sun, moon, and the stars. And God is up there in the sun, right? Not literally, but figuratively. And they believe that should you transcend to that level and you are among God, that you are given the ability to, and in the words of their scripture, create worlds without number. That you can become God. That you can be like him. I had an experience on acid once where my buddy Darian and I talked about something that he had first kind of thought up, and then we came together on and called the shared lives theory. And that's this idea that we are one collective consciousness, and each individual identity, you, me, we're all one, experiencing its own self infinitely across the timelines, in the past, the present, the future, all at the same time. It's recursive. It comes back. It's one.
How did you realize that? What was the thought that triggered it?
Couldn't tell you, man. It was a really long, profound conversation. We covered a lot of ground on that trip.
I've been there.
It was wild. And I kicked myself because I always wish we had recorded it, like turned on a voice memo and just forgot. A lot of people asked me that, if it would have affected it. Is that what you're going to say?
Yeah, I was gonna say, are you speaking gibberish when you watch it back, or are you actually making profound sense when it was happening?
Oh, well, we were absolutely on something, for sure. We were on to something.
On acid, or like on?
We were definitely on that, but we were really on to something. You really do tap into higher planes of consciousness.
I think so, dude.
Like I was saying before, there are new neural pathways formed when you're on acid specifically. I think mushrooms too, but it literally.
Do you have a favorite
between the two? Acid it's probably mushrooms now, just because the natural wave, but...
Yeah.
There's not a lot of real acid out there anymore. A lot of it's research chems. It's really close, but it's not real acid anymore.
I could see that.
Shoot.
You were going to say the telepathy.
Oh, yeah. So the shared lives theory.
Yes.
One other experience I had kind of simultaneously, I wanted to know, like, what happens when you die, right? And
you went with that intention before the trip.
Right, exactly. And so, and I had already been, looking into, reincarnation,
mm-hmm.
like kind of looking at that as a potential, because I liked that idea. I thought that was beautiful. Like, it kind of ties into, Newton's whole matter cannot be created nor destroyed. And I kind of just ran with that. Like, what if that's the same for the soul? Where does my soul go? Well, maybe I'm reborn. But then I thought, what if when you die, you do meet God like everybody thinks you might, but it's a place where you get to remember your past lives. And then you come back and you forget that, but you don't really. Your soul doesn't forget it. That's why some people, like you come across, they feel like an old soul.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of tie that together too.
Yeah.
And then Logic dropped an album called Everybody, and there's a skit on it. I was telling you about this. Neil deGrasse Tyson plays God or the creator.
But you didn't finish it, so I didn't hear the rest of it.
The guy who dies in this skit, he wakes up, he's like, where are we? What are we doing? Is this some kind of a waiting room? And Neil comes on and he's like, yeah, basically.
This is a music video?
No, it's just a skit. It's just like an audio track on there. It's not a song. Nothing. It's just, I could play it for you if you want. It's like 2 minutes.
I would love to, but we get copyright issues.
Oh, okay, for sure. I'll show you later.
After.
And the story that he tells the character who died, his name's Adam.
Uh-huh. Oh, that's my homie.
Well, Adam and Eve.
Okay.
But it's also Adam.
Adam.
And so he's telling him essentially what I had thought could possibly be. Like if reincarnation was real, maybe we come back, we learn about our past lives, we get sent into the new one, and the goal of all this, and this also ties into earlier teachings that I was taught growing up in the Mormon church, that the purpose of this life is to learn and to grow, to transcend, to become like God. And you can only do that when you have lived every experience of every type of person that ever will, ever has lived.
Do you ever finish?
I think so. I mean, humanity is finite. Humanity is not going to be here forever. And I think that our experience in the human, or our time in the human experience as a collective consciousness, is the time where we are living through each and every person's or ourselves individual experience. It's quantum. It's happening, the past, present, and future simultaneously. That's why in this particular skit, he gets sent back to ancient China as a girl. And one of the other times he was sent back as a slave owner. He's a black guy in the skit. Mm-hmm. He was like, what? You're going to send a black guy back to be a slave owner? He was like, but you got to understand that every, act of kindness you've ever acted upon someone else, you were doing unto yourself. Every act of evil or malice, you were doing unto yourself. And all of this is for the purpose of learning and growing, because I'll never know what your individual experience is like in my experience.
Exactly.
But maybe once I come back, I will be living as you. We're all the same. We are God. We are a shared life. Mm-hmm. And so that was a time where, we were crying like babies, bro, because I felt like we cracked the fucking code.
Yeah.
And then years later, I hear this telepathy tapes where they're talking about how consciousness is source, not the materialism.
Yeah.
And then this other podcast I was listening to today about the mathematician,
it's changing
all
things.
Aligning. So I'm like, Christ. Have you ever heard the term Christ conscious?
Yes. From Billy Carson.
It's a real thing too. It's like an actual idea, and I couldn't give you the Webster definition of it, but the fact that that's a known thing too, and that maybe Christ is or was one of these lives that consciousness has experienced that just happened to transcend. and be able to
and everyone remembered
harness the powers of the universe, or rather, you know, the powers that were inside him and inside all of us. Like, in the telepathy tapes, they talk about how anybody is capable of this. It just happens to be that nonverbal autistic kids excel. But everybody can tap into that, which is why they get into, like, this. So it's like a collective conscious, because where are their minds going?
Yeah.
Is the whole question, right?
Dude.
So that's kind of where I'm at.
That's making sense.
You know?
Me and my friend Adam, the one I was talking about earlier, we have this funny thing that we've kind of come to realize is that, like, he said the phrase once, but it's like, what have you figured out so far? Like, whenever we meet up, it's like, what have you been studying this whole time that we've been apart that I haven't learned yet, you know?
Right.
Because, like, and that's so fucking exciting, is because we're in it for different reasons. Like, this game now just got, like, a whole lot funner.
Yeah.
Because we're like, what massive discoveries are happening?
Totally, bro.
Dude, I look at everything, and this happened from psychedelics.
Yeah.
I look at things in such a happy way, because I feel the weight of the world upon me.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's no longer that I just treat people that, like, are around me nice.
Mm-hmm.
No, like, I care about, like, people across the world and whatever experience they're having. I even care about, and maybe I did this before psychedelics, but it just really hits home afterwards.
It's amplified, right?
It's
just more of an intense.
When I had my best trip, I did 3, maybe 1 or 2, 3 mushroom trips before I ever felt anything.
Like, at all?
At all.
Really?
Wait, hold on. I'm telling that wrong. The first time, I think it was with Dakota, we took him on the beach in San Diego.
That's a dream come true, bro. First
time. Eat a handful. I was like, how much? Dakota, that in the same trip, that must have been before. I gotta tell this quick story.
Sure.
With Dakota. I'd never done weed. I've been sober. The only thing I started doing is drinking a little bit in college.
Okay.
We're on vacation, and with D-Tron and Sarah Payne, and we're like, hey, it's legal here, let's get high.
Sure.
And I'm like, just getting my foot in the door with the fire service. So I'm like,
okay.
I shouldn't do this, but I almost, fuck it. And so we do it. He's like, here. I'm like, how much is that? 100 milligrams. And I'm like, yeah, all right.
Is this an edible?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I've never done anything at this point.
Sure.
And he's like,
a lot for a first.
I don't know what he said. I was like, dude, I think, this is how I remember it. Could be wrong. But I was like, I think we should cut that in half, don't you think? And he's like, yeah, maybe. No, I think he gave me it, and I was going to do it because I trust him.
And he was like, actually.
Yeah, actually, he's like, let's cut it in half. I think that's how it went. Anyway, we take it, not feeling anything. Some time goes by, and then I look over, and we call David D-Tron.
Yeah.
I've been calling him since college. And he's literally just staring at the wall, mouth wide open.
Yeah.
Blankness.
He just did edible too?
Oh, yeah.
That's just how you were seeing
he was with... No, he was... Sorry. He was with us.
Yeah.
This is the crazy story. Yeah, he's with us. You know, he took it with us. Yeah. At some point, I don't remember. It was me and Dakota that split it up.
Yeah.
He definitely did, though, because he's fucking just not
he's
there.
On a trip.
He's just like... I'm like, fuck, dude, that sucks. And I feel uncomfortable about it, so I go into... Because it's just me and him.
Yeah.
No TV on, silent.
Oh
yeah, dude.
It's awkward.
Because, like, we don't know how to fucking work the house. We're at an Airbnb, and, like, we're going to play games eventually.
Yeah.
Anyway, walk into the kitchen. Sarah's making food. Dax just probably yapping her ear off. And I start laughing super hard because I'm, like, fucking D-Tron out there. Stone cold, like, figure. I'm like, nothing's going on. I'm laughing so hard. It comes in waves.
This is just off of a weed edible?
This is just off weed. Mushrooms is like a true wave, but that was my first experience, like how I described it. I literally... Yeah, okay, so it was like not peak, sorry. It was like really laughing really hard, and then I would come in 30 seconds, I'm like, I just have a lot of anxiety, I don't know how the fuck to feel.
Yeah.
And then it would just be like this and this and this, right?
Yeah, okay.
Like just an up and down thing. And I'm like, I'm gonna go chill. I was like, hey guys, and I was like, hey, the best way to be about this is just be vocal. In my head, I was like, I'm gonna talk about everything I'm going through, so you guys can maybe help me with this.
Sure.
Dax fucking cozy on the couch, totally fine, laughing at me, and Sarah's like, hey, let's do some painting, trying to help me out.
Nice.
And some time goes by more, and I look at D-Tron, and it's been an hour, and he's still in the same position.
No way, bro.
Dude,
had he ever done anything like that?
I don't know. I think so. I think he was partying hard.
He was locked in.
He was going through it in his mind. And when I remember that's going on, I look over, I'm like, Okay. And then there's like this sailboat like sculpture made out of metal, sharp metal.
Okay.
Right above the couch, close to him, reaching distance. So I'm like,
should move that. Huh?
Yeah, exactly, dude. I'm like painting. I'm like sat down. I was like, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna say what I'm thinking because I'm not having a good time. I think David hasn't said a goddamn word in 2 hours, and there's this really sharp sculpture things, and I just have the feeling that he's gonna stab me. And I was like, that's how I feel.
Wow.
Yeah, because dude, there's a lot going on.
Sure, yeah.
It's like I said, there's like, it's in a silent house, and we're like, the majority of us is high.
Yeah, your senses are fucking with
My
you.
senses, yeah. So I'm like, fuck, dude. I don't know how to read the room because
first time doing it. It's like.
So anyway, I was like, I feel like I'm gonna throw up. I green out, dude. I go to the bathroom.
Oh no way.
Dry heave. You know, you ever dry heave before?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I'm throwing up, got nothing left. At some point.
God, that's shitty.
At some point, I'm like, I'm giving up. Like, I'm exhausted. I'm like, this is crazy. I want to just go to bed.
Yeah.
So Sarah brings me in a towel, a wet, cold towel, rag, on my head. And I wonder if I can do it so you get a really good visual. But basically, I'm in doggy position, but like, I'm like this. Like, I put it on my head.
Yeah. Just trying to chill. Just
trying to chill, dude. In the bathroom. I don't even know what to call this realm, but like, either I hallucinated or it was a dream. And it was either a dream that I woke up in the middle of it and was still having the dream while I was conscious.
Holy fuck, man.
I never described it like that, but yeah, that actually makes a lot of sense. So I have the rag on my head, and I wake up, and I think it's my juicy, dripping brain in my hand.
No.
I don't see it, but dude, the texture feels like a human brain, totally, even though I've never felt one. Like, it was like, it felt like it would be the perfect way. Everything that you could imagine a brain would be like, it was like there, and I felt it in my body and my hands, and I fucking threw it at the wall, and I'm like, I'm going to bed. I was like, this is not fun.
Time to go.
I go to fucking sleep. Thank God I don't go back to that dream. And I wake up the next morning, and I'll never forget. I'll tell this story again, and I'll tell it the same fucking way. I woke up the next day, and I was like, guys, you could not pay me enough. You couldn't pay me $1 million or more to do that same amount again tonight.
Yeah.
I was like, I hope that makes sense, because that's how bad it was.
Yeah.
And then I took a long time off, and then I tried again. Amazing experiences.
Totally different.
Yeah, I've had some fucked up experiences, like anxiety here and there.
Sure.
But 90%, dude, has been fucking amazing, and I've really got intimate in my relationships, friendships, girlfriends. Sure. Like, it's been really positive.
Yeah, I think initially when I had first started, it was just for the sake of, like, I wanted to fit in, bro. There was a kid that I went to elementary school with. His name was Stephen Dunn. And Jake Dana was actually there. We got off the school bus. This was probably...
Did Jake go to the same elementary? Or
Jake did go to Zaharis. Yeah, he went to the same elementary school. But this was in either junior high or high school. I can't quite remember. Okay. I think it was high school. And freshman year. And Steven was sitting in front of our neighborhood. We had like a big display that had the name of the neighborhood on it. Mm-hmm. And, you know, it was probably about this thick. And on the other side of it, you could kind of sit behind it, and the cars passing by wouldn't be able to see you. So he was sitting right there. We get off on the bus, and he goes, "Hey, Coop."
Like a fucking movie?
Bro, yeah.
Hey, Coop. Yeah. He has his foot up against the wall.
Well, he had a little pipe full of weed, and I didn't know what was going on, but I was just like, "What? What's up, bro? Come here." So Jake and I walk over there.
Oh, is that where Jake got hooked too?
I don't think so.
Okay,
I mean, he didn't smoke that time. And this was I'm pretty sure this was spice. This was my first time smoking anything.
Okay.
He goes, "You trying to smoke?" I was like, I mean, like, I don't know. I've never done it before. I've been thinking about it though, like, and I genuinely had. I've been thinking about it for some time. I saw it, bro, because Wiz Khalifa was huge right during this time.
Yeah.
And I'd been seeing the videos, and I thought it was the coolest shit. I was like, bro, I kind of want to try that. So I've been thinking about it, and so he had some, and I was like, my parents aren't gonna be home for a couple hours. We're right in front of the neighborhood. How
so
bad
wait, is this internal dialogue going on in your head?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I'm like,
makes sense.
Honestly, bro, fuck it, let's do it. Yeah.
Oh,
let's get it. So he had a hash pipe. It's like a little metal or like a plastic tube. around a metal bit and then a full metal bowl. It's specifically for smoking hash, and he had it with a bowl full of spice. And again, I didn't know any sort of difference. And I asked him what it was, and he said it was spice. I was like, "Is that like weed?" He's like, "Kind of."
It's like, uncle.
It's fake weed. And I was like, "Am I gonna die? Like, is it gonna hurt me?" He's like, "Nah, dude, you're gonna have a great time." I was like, "Am I gonna remember this?" And Jake started laughing his ass off. He's like, "Coop, you're gonna remember this for the rest of your life."
Oh shit! Has like, Jake done it at that point? You think?
He probably had. I don't know, bro. I wasn't like close with Jake at this time. But he wanted to see when it went down. Understandably. So I'm like, yeah, bro, fuck it, let's do it. And so he loads it up. I remember I took 3 hits. First one, nothing. It just kind of made me cough a bit. I was like, oh, bro. Like, it tasted okay, but it was terrible. I'd never smoked anything. Took the second one. I started kind of feeling a little different. And with weed, it probably wouldn't have been this way. Maybe because it was my first time, but this stuff was different. And I remember telling him, I was like, it kind of feels like hot needles on my arm. It didn't hurt though. It didn't hurt, but I just remember feeling like in my head the sensation felt like hot needles, like just pressing into my arms. Not painful, just a weird sensation. And he was like, do one more. So I hit it and I blow it out, and like the sounds of the cars passing by like were echoing in my head, like full auditory hallucinations for a few seconds. And I felt my body go like loose, and I could not stop laughing. And I remember like kind of rolling around and like, oh shit, kind of rolling. Oh shit.
So you're rolling around.
So I'm rolling around in the grass or the rocks, and I'm like squeezing them and picking them up, and I was like, wow, this feels crazy. I'm just laughing like an idiot. And then Steve was like, all right, bro, I gotta go. I was like, wait, you're just gonna leave me here, dude? Like,
wait, what the fuck?
Come on now.
Did that happen?
He was like, yeah, and he just left. And so I was like, Jake, will you walk with me? He's like, I mean, I gotta go home, bro, but like, you're just right up there. And I was like, I guess I know the way, but
fuck, dude.
I was hoping that I'd be able to stick around with him for a little bit longer, just in case anything happened, because I didn't know. So I remember walking back home, and at first it was like normal. It kind of had worn off a bit.
Wait, when you smoke salvia, can you see your reality around you, or is it?
This was spice though. This wasn't salvia. Salvia is different.
Oh, that's right.
Spice is, as it was taught to me, and I know that it's not this way now. I was taught it was synthetic weed.
Yeah.
And it kind of looks and smells like it, but it's not. So I thought it was gonna be fine. He had been smoking it, and he was standing, so I was like, all right, fuck it, I'll do it. But yeah, no, this was spice. Salvia I didn't do for a long, long time to come. As I'm walking back, I remember just seeing the street bob up and down as I was stepping in a way that it was just weird. It was making me giggle. I was like, what is happening here, bro? And I get back home, and immediately I was like, oh fuck, mom and dad are gonna be home. I need a shower. So I get in the shower. I'm like scrubbing with soap. Like I'm like, make sure there's no smell on me at all. I don't know if there was, but I just was taking no chances. I think I had some eye drops, threw those in, brushed my teeth.
Whoa.
And I sat down and did my homework, bro.
Oh my, was it fun?
No, I was so nervous that they were going to come in and like just bust me.
It's like the worst, you set up the worst anxiety for
dude,
yourself.
Yeah, it was like classic weed smoker paranoia, and I was like, oh, I just got to do my homework, and I remember I think it was my dad popped in and checked in, and I was like, oh, I'm good. Just doing my homework. And it only lasts like 30 minutes. Like, and it was weird because I don't know if that's a science, but pretty consistently every time I smoked, it was like at 30 minutes, I didn't feel high anymore. It was weird.
That's crazy.
And so like it had worn off, but I was still so nervous they were going to know somehow. And so that was my first time doing that. I didn't smoke actual weed for a couple months after that. I continued to smoke spice. I met a kid named Chris Borman who...
Wait, Chris Borman?
Chris Borman, you know him?
I think I was roommates with him.
When I knew
Mario's cousin?
Yeah.
Yeah,
bro.
I was roommates with him.
He went down a bad path, huh? He was in like rehab. Is he okay?
Dude, he's into DJing just as much as Jake is, and I know he was doing shows for a while.
That tracks. I remember he was really big into like the glove lights.
Honestly, yeah. I haven't talked to him. I hope he's doing okay. That would be a question for Dakota. Chris, if you ever listen to this, I hope you're doing the best.
I hope you're doing good, buddy.
Yeah.
I will never forget these experiences, though, that's for sure. In fact,
that's crazy.
One of the first time I got my cousin stoned, because he'd never smoked weed before. He got me high on acid for the first time. I got him high on weed for the first time.
Okay, fair trade-off. Kind of, not really.
Well,
no.
For me, it was a much better. It was an upgrade.
Yeah.
But I took him and a good friend of ours that we had a falling out with, but good friend at the time, and I introduced him to Chris, and Chris brought a pipe and some weed to the park in the neighborhood across from mine, and we all got stoned. It was a great time, dude. And we got back to my place. My parents were in bed, so I wasn't worried. At this time, we were living in a 2-story that had a room off to the on the front of the house that was totally closed off from the rest.
Mm-hmm.
It was like our movie room.
Yeah.
So I was like, that's the safe place. That's where we're gonna go. My parents won't hear us. They won't bother us there. We're gonna be fine.
That's a bad idea.
No, it was fine. It was totally solid. I knew my parents
would laugh so hard.
Dude, I used to get laid all the time in that room. When I was dating Celeste. Do you remember her?
Yeah, I do actually.
We used to fuck.
Or was her name Ortez last name?
Campa.
I'm thinking. Okay. Campa. Yes.
Yeah, all the time. And my parents never heard, so I was like, "We're good in there, bro. We'll be fine."
They soundproofed that bitch or what?
No, dude. We just purposed it for the theater room. It just happened to be so disconnected from where their room. It was totally opposite of where their room was in the house.
If your parents listen to this, are you gonna be grounded?
I mean, at this point, it's probably. I think they even know a little bit about the debauchery with Celeste.
Maybe they. Well, you think they know?
Oh yeah, I mean, my mom knows.
Okay.
Like, and at this point, like, I'm married, and like sex isn't like a taboo topic at all. So
nice.
It's like whatever. But it might be kind of a shock to know it.
Do you think your parents have got cooler over the years?
More understanding. As I've gotten older, and I've been able to like show them that my past decisions did not dictate my future.
Damn.
They've kind of had to eat some of their words, and like, yeah, I understand that like I did get my shit together, regardless of what they might have thought was going to happen. Not to spite them either. It was just I knew that there needed to be some changes made, and that they were right about a lot of things. So I think there's a mutual respect, and we've been able to move past a lot of shit that I caused. So,
why do you think you caused all the things that you did?
Just totally different ideologies at a really impressionable time in my life, and I think that they thought that they knew better, and they probably did, but like they also
that whole authority thing.
That was a part of it for me too. I mean, I fought my dad a couple times. I'm not proud to admit it, but the second time I did it, that was it. So my parents kicked me out after that. Actually, that one was only about a week. I stayed with a friend. Then years later, in the house that they moved out of when they moved to Queen Creek, got into some beef with my parents on Christmas, and I got kicked out on Christmas.
Fuck, dude.
Yeah, which it's fine, dude.
Does that ruin anything Christmas in the future
not
for you?
No, I don't. Well, maybe not for me, but maybe for my parents for the next year or two. I don't know. Actually, we've never talked about that, but it definitely ruined that one, and I feel bad about it. But it was a really
complex,
complex and impressionable time in my life where I was pretty easily influenced by those around me. So they were really worried, and I know that they were coming from a place of love and concern.
This makes sense, yeah.
But like I just was not in a position or headspace to hear it. I was very combative.
Because you wanted to fit in mostly, or
well, it was that, and also like I felt like I was finding myself in a way, and it was just in ways that they didn't agree with. You know, like they didn't like knowing that if I was going out ever, it was more than likely to go meet up with some guys to go get high. They didn't like that. Whether or not I was being safe about it didn't matter to them because they didn't know the people I was with. They didn't know if what I was doing was actually safe. They were very uneducated on anything weed, any drugs. They just knew that they were bad. So it was really hard for them to see their oldest child like going through the same thing that they saw my older cousin Quinn go through with her brother.
How's
Eric.
he doing now?
I think he's turned around. It got pretty bad for him for a little bit, but he parted ways with a long-term partner and got a good job, and he seems to be doing better.
Do you think the downfall was because of psychedelics, or he just...
Not psychedelics, no. He
just life things?
He got into some other things.
Yeah, you don't have to tell me.
No, yeah, no, I won't. But it was... so they got to see that, and when he was like 16, and up until he was 20, and then beyond. And they just didn't want that to happen to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, my
gut feeling?
No. Well, no, just my being so combative and like screw you to them was hard. And so it just reached a breaking point, and they just couldn't deal with it anymore, and they were going to let me figure my shit out. Sink or swim type of situation. So I remember when they kicked me out, I wasn't officially out. I didn't know that yet. I left the house. I went for a walk to cool off. My dad came up in the van he's like, come on, like, let's come home, we'll talk about it. I'm like, nah, fuck you guys, I'm done. And I walked off, and behind their house, it just opened up into a desert next to the freeway. So I just walked out there, because my dad couldn't drive out there, and came back like an hour later, and my mom had packed up all of my stuff into 2 big black garbage bags with a note on it. It said, good luck. Damn. All of that shit ended up getting stolen later on, too, and I had to start from scratch, and it was like a whole thing, So
you probably blamed your parents at one point, like if you didn't put it in bags.
I wasn't even thinking about that. I was mad at Brendan Hilliard. He was the piece of shit that let my stuff get sold off to this hick that he just got arrested recently for doing something with a little girl.
Fuck.
Yeah, piece of shit, dude.
Yeah.
Just
so he sold all your shit or what?
Sold all my stuff to a guy. He fucked off to Tennessee with all my things, shoes, shirt, like literally everything I owned except for what was on my body at the time. Because we had gotten, this is totally
How old are you
off
at this
topic.
point?
17.
Okay.
Probably 17. Because when I was 18 is when I got my first apartment. So this was
Did you start to get together at 18? Your life?
Nope. Not until my son was born.
It took that for you to...
It took that. I was slowly, like I knew. I'm blessed to be as self-aware as I am. Mm-hmm. And I do think that psychs are really to thank for that.
Yep.
So I had known for a long time that I needed to make changes, but just wasn't doing it. And I was getting high all day, playing Fortnite for like 8 hours a day.
What do you think this is a deep question, you don't have to answer it, but
no.
What do you think causes that for you to fuck off? Well,
I can tell you exactly what.
What?
I didn't have that growing up, and I felt like I was filling this void of things I didn't have growing up. Like the
worst byproduct of a religion. That's what happens when
exactly.
You can't do so many things.
I mean, to be honest with you, dude, it was just because we grew up in the era of Black Ops 2, bro. Like, specifically with the video games part of things. I did not have that. My parents, I had a GameCube when I was growing up, and then we had a Wii and an Xbox, and then eventually Carter got a PlayStation. I didn't have that experience. My parents didn't let us play rated M games. So I didn't get to have all of that until I got a little bit older, and then I played at friends' houses. But when I moved out on my own, I was like, this is my time to do everything I didn't get to do, because who the fuck's going to stop me now? So...
one more time to intervene. How do we avoid doing that to our kids, but trying to keep them safe?
Oh, there's a balance, bro. It's just the balance of all things. It's the yin and yang. It comes back to that. It's like, you can, like with screen time, we were bad with that at first. We didn't know what we know now about the effects on the especially on a little baby's brain with screen time. Yeah, the first 3 years, bro. Yeah, just avoid it altogether. We didn't know that, so we had him in front of baby Einstein and eventually Coco Melon, bro. And we know now that that's the godfather of dopamine hijacking, stimulation, craziness. Blippy, like all the bad ones, bro. Mm-hmm. And then I started seeing stuff. I don't know if it was because I started looking things up, but eventually my Instagram feed was totally tailored to be, if it wasn't conspiracy related stuff, it was parenting stuff. And so I started getting a lot of stuff on my feed about specifically screen time and the effects on their brains that it might have. And then a lot of other things to follow. But that was like, I realized like, oh my God, we're going to fuck up our kid doing this. Like, and just so that it's quieter in the house. Like, because that's really what it was a pacification tool. Yeah. You know, like at one point it was like, I was still playing video games pretty heavily when we got him the tablet. And so it would be like, well, Daddy's going to have his time. You can have your time too. So we're doing it together. Yeah. Like, we were coming from a place of like, we want to be together, and it was like a place of good idea, but really it wasn't. It was a terrible idea. Mm-hmm. Setting such an unrealistic example of what an adult person should be doing in the middle of the day. Not that he was going to think about that at that time, but like, these are things that will
stick with you even if you don't know it.
Right. And so I started realizing that,
damn,
fuck, dude, if I want to make sure I don't raise my kid to be a piece of shit, I want him to be a good person. I want him to be hardworking, dedicated, kind, intelligent. If I want him to be these things, I have to not only model that, but I have to learn how to be those things. So it was really around the time my son was born that things really kicked into high gear, and I did a complete 180. It was not overnight, you know, and I'm still on that journey, bro. I'm not perfect. I was telling you guys earlier, but I still got my temper. It flares up every now and then. It used to be worse.
Have you always had that for your whole life?
Yeah, and to be honest with you, I think I got it from my dad. You know, love my dad.
Like teaching you just his way.
Well, he was just an angry guy. My parents didn't have the best relationship when I was growing up. Truth be told, they probably should have divorced. I think they were very much under the mindset of like, we'll stick it out for the kids. Yeah. And that's admirable sometimes, but and honestly, I'm grateful that they did stick it out. Yeah? I really am.
I never heard that. I never heard that.
They've turned a new leaf, bro. What? They figured their shit out. This is new information. Like 20 years later, right? 20 years into their marriage, they started doing the work. They found a sex therapist actually in the Mormon church. Her name is Jennifer Finlayson Fife. They started listening to her podcast. They purchased courses from her.
Fuck yeah.
Changed their lives, bro. And in fact, some of the lessons that I've seen them learn, I've applied to my own marriage.
Yeah.
It works, bro.
That's so cool that you still accept some things of the Mormon religion. Like, even though being totally disassociated with it.
Well, I might have separated myself from it, but at the end of the day, every religion got it a little bit right, you know?
I think we're all experiencing the same divine feeling. We're just calling it different things.
For sure. It's all perception, right? So yeah, gosh, what was I saying?
You're saying you still have a lot of work to do, but I wonder if you never had kids, dude. If you do, you ever get your life together?
So, I don't know. Maybe eventually. Or I would have died. Might have done something fucked up. I was doing blow for a long time. Luckily, long before I had my son, and I stopped doing that. But, like, who knows, right? Like...
It's so hard to play what if.
Right. And to be honest, I'm okay with not wondering what if because the way that things panned out...
It's perfect.
...really were probably the most ideally they could have. This random person that I happened to get pregnant just happened to be somebody that I love deeply, and our families are cool... And I'm cool with her family, and like things just work. Do we have our differences? Of course, we're different people. But
if it was perfect, it wouldn't be real.
Right, exactly, dude. And nothing easy is worth putting your time into, really, in the long run. The hard is what makes it good. And so, I think my wife early on, I will say, probably was in a similar mindset of, like, if it doesn't feel right, it's not right. You know, if things aren't perfect between us, it's probably not the man for me. And I might have still had a little bit of that sentiment as well, but then over the course of our relationship is when I saw my parents repair theirs. And so I started to realize, like, if they can make 20 years, you know, if they can make 20 years of a bad marriage work for the best and actually come back and love each other and reconnect like that, we're so... like early into ours, if we just start putting some of those similar things into practice, we're pretty much guaranteed to not have to deal with that 20 years down the line. Yeah. So
they saved you a lot of suffering potentially.
Absolutely, dude. And we also had the benefit of
setting an example, not even by telling you.
Right, exactly. And they weren't even doing it necessarily to set an example. I don't think. I really do believe that it was because they did. At the end of the day, at a very basic level, they do love each other, right? And now it's become so much more full and what love is really meant to be. So very happy and grateful for them. I wouldn't be the person I am today if it weren't for all of the bullshit and all of the good shit that I went through with them. Like, parents are rad, and I recognize that, so I'm going to do what they did, but I'm going to do it better. I'm going to do what I can to make sure.
And they should want that for you.
Absolutely, and I would say that they probably do. You know, my dad, despite, you know, the temper that he had with us growing up, is a great man, a fucking solid dude, literally can do anything he puts his mind to. A huge inspiration for me. And
damn, I don't know what that feeling is like from any
really. I mean, I took a long time, like, okay, I won't say it took a long time to feel that way. It took a long time for me to admit that I feel that way because I felt so spiteful for a long time. Like, you caused this trauma, you caused these negative feelings, you made it impossible for me to manage my emotions like an emotionally intelligent man should be able to. I didn't have the benefit of growing up seeing what that looked like, and I felt crazy animosity only in that regard. Otherwise, like, I can always admit at any point in my life that regardless of my feelings, he was always a good man. Damn. He just didn't have it all figured out. Like, his father before him probably didn't have it all figured out.
This is epiphany I had post psychedelics. It's like everyone's figuring it out for the first time. dude, you can't. There's no rule book to how to be a parent. There is, but like, it's off someone else's experience.
It's not going to be the same for everybody.
No, it's all different.
There is science nowadays that like if you follow that, you're more likely to have the positive outcomes you're looking for, and so I choose to follow those.
Yeah.
But really, dude, it's simple, man. Where it gets hard is knowing how to handle, for me, the big emotions that I'm still learning how to deal with in myself.
Yeah.
Like I see my son blow up over things that, as an adult, I'm like, okay, well, all we need to do is just take a step back, look at it, look at the big picture, maybe breathe, and let it be. But as a fucking 5-year-old kid, you know, they're not born inherently knowing how to do that. That's my job to teach him that. So I'm still figuring that out. And there are moments where he'll lose his shit, and I feel myself getting amped up, like I'm triggered by him losing his mind over something. It's like parts of me just want to be like, shut up, stop it. This is not a big deal. But then I have to stop and think like, it might not be a big deal to me, but from his perspective, this might be the most challenging thing he's ever faced in his short 5 years of life.
Their trauma or whatever.
Right, dude. And it's not fair for me to be dismissive about those things. And I think that that's where my dad might have not been able to
show you the way.
Yeah, exactly. Like that was a hard thing for him. And so I don't hold that against him,
because now you're reeling it as a dad.
Yeah, that's just such a real thing. Yeah. I think the difference though is that
you're aware of it.
I'm aware of it, and I'm going to take the time to overcome that thing. I'm going to raise emotionally intelligent young men, and that's.
And now a daughter.
Yeah, absolutely.
That makes you a good dad, dude. That sets a really nice foundation for sure. The thing that I'm gonna do for sure, is I'm gonna when I was a kid, I was raised by my grandparents and my mom, and I never felt the urge that I ever had to lie to any one of them, and I was such an honest kid.
Nice.
No matter what I did, even if it was terrible. Dude, even if I like did something really bad.
Yeah. That's something we're trying to teach Ryder right now.
Yeah, I never had the fear of like, what are they gonna think? What are they gonna say? I'm like in my head about it. I'm just gonna tell them.
Yeah.
And I was never, and the best part is if like, I don't even think this was like a discuss rule, more of like a self-discover or a discovery between our relationship. As I got older, it's like, hey, if you tell the truth, it's not the punishment is less, but you don't get punished. Like, as long as, like, it doesn't happen again. Right. And I was like, once I understood that, I would feel bad, too, that I did the thing, but it wasn't that I was scared that they were going to do something to me.
But that's good, though.
Yeah,
that feeling of remorse, that means you can experience empathy, and that in your core, like, there is goodness, right? Yeah. So that's always been a part of you. And I think that everybody's born with that to a certain degree. I think some less than others. You can absolutely water that, just the same way that you can water the bad fruits in us, because of the yin yang, right? No matter how good you are, there's always going to be at least one thing. I see that pattern everywhere, dude. Every workplace you're going to go, you might get along with everybody. There's always going to be one person maybe you don't.
Statistically.
Every relationship you're in, you might have somebody that hits every single box, but maybe there's that one thing that.
Yeah. Well, because there's a million options.
Sure, exactly, right? So it's like, seeing all of those existential truths, it always reaffirms some of the beliefs I've come to settle into.
Same.
But can I ask you about your dad?
Yeah.
I don't actually know anything about what your relationship is or why there wasn't one.
I am an open book, and my dad, like, I think I was conceived when I was when I was 1997. No. I got totally distracted.
Okay.
I haven't talked about this in a long time. That's probably why it's like caught me off guard. Hold on. Okay. So my dad, I think he was in my picture like for the first year or two, and I think they lived together with my uncle. Like my mom, my dad, and then he let them move in because he owned like a furniture business.
Okay.
But my mom and dad were both doing coke together, and my dad's the one that introduced my mom. I think my mom was pretty like on the right path.
Yeah.
And that was like a step down that road, and I don't know, eventually they separated. They were always fighting and stuff like that, but I don't know. Eventually he went to jail at some point, prison. He was gone for like 5 years. Okay. And he kept getting like run-ins with the cops. It was always drugs. It was always like, I think it was heroin.
trafficking or just paraphernalia, like possession?
Oh, just possession, I think. Although, when he went for 5 years, the story I heard, and this is just, what they call it, hearsay, like, my family told me, that side of the family said that he got in a car accident while he was drinking or something like that. Probably, that means high. And ran into another car, but it had an old lady, and I think she was injured to some extent. I don't know how bad.
Gotcha.
But he got I don't know if this is the same car accident he got in, that he like had to get a plate in his head.
Like an
all these
Dewey.
Yeah, like it did him in. I don't know if that's the same accident. Anyway, so he hasn't been in my life for like, since I was like 2, and then.
So he's alive.
He's alive, and I just found that out like.
You just found that out?
Yeah, I didn't know. I haven't talked to him in 6 years.
Holy shit, bro! Like I like can't. I just can't even imagine, bro. I like can't wrap my head around that.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man.
But it's okay for me. Like, I've made amends with the things that I can't change a long time ago. When I was going through it, I lost my grandma and grandpa junior year of high school, dude. And they were like
those
people who raised me.
Right?
That's mom and dad. My mom's in there, but she's dealing with her own shit. And then her favorite person, her brother, dies. And that's the only person she's ever had.
So what, she checks out for a little while?
Oh, she was checked out before then, and now she's definitely checked out.
To this day? Or just
she's at a homeless shelter right now.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Oh, bro. That's crazy. I didn't know
I tried just about everything.
Really?
I've done at least a dozen rehabs for her. I let her live with me. And then I was like, I started to realize that, like, I've helped other people in situations and give too much energy. I'm like, oh, this is starting to ruin my life.
Yeah, dude. This is what it comes back to, is that balance, right?
Yeah.
I wonder if she's ever considered, like, ayahuasca.
Dude, you want to hear a crazy story?
Love to.
I told you I tried about just everything, right?
Yeah.
Me and my mom took a heroic dose on mushrooms.
Oh, for real? Like, what, 7+?
It was 5+.
Okay.
Roughly 5. And I think I've taken it maybe like once or twice in good settings. But this one, like, it was intentional. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I wrote a whole list of things. I didn't ask one question on that fucking list, by the way. This is crazy.
For the, like, my list of rules or the list
No, sorry. This is, I had made I was very intentional about this trip that I was going to go on with my mom. I have to pee real quick.
For sure.
Give me 2 seconds.
You're good. Okay, so boy. Yuki.
Still doing good?
Yeah, I gotta go pee too.
What? I was gonna say when you came back in here, dude, like everyone on the podcast, our one viewer is gonna hear us peeing like 3 times, mostly me.
You don't think that little cover on the mic
Oh no.
would wipe that out?
Maybe. Is that what it's for?
Yeah, it's supposed to act as like an additional sound dampener, I thought.
I don't know. Have you ever had pee stage fright?
Yeah, dude, absolutely.
Still to this day?
Oh, bro, yeah, and it's not because it's like stage fright. So sometimes, like in public bathrooms.
The worst was silence, dude.
Bro, yeah, exactly.
Kill
For
me.
some reason, it's like my body knows there's other people. And
Yep.
It won't let it happen. But as soon as somebody leaves, it just.
It's just sweet relief, dude.
It's not a conscious thing either. I don't know why.
Dude, I've tried to explain it to other people, and it's like I don't have any good answers or ways to explain this, but it literally overcomes me, and I have to do some embarrassing shit to avoid those situations, dude. I can make a whole episode of just those scenarios. Dude, next time we do this, let's start with that.
All right, I'm down.
Because, dude, I have some fucked up ones. I have one from last week, dude, at the movie theater.
Oh, no.
I'm not going to go there. Okay, I'll tell it real quick.
All right.
We went to go see fucking... The movie really doesn't matter, but I kind of want to try to remember it. Need water, dude? Fuck, I'm out, too.
No, it's
okay. We're probably going to go in a minute. Should we get water?
Oh, I'm down.
Yeah, let's get water, come back. How much time? Wait, don't tell me time. Are you still down to do this, or should we?
Yeah,
or should we call it?
I'm chilling, bro.
Okay. Don't let me forget the fucking story. Yeah, dude. I don't plan to stop doing this. I looked at it.
Is it good?
No, it's fucked.
No.
But at least we got that fucking going, and maybe you got the majority of it.
That'd be cool.
We'll finish this little part and wrap it up. Do you have work tomorrow?
No. I took tomorrow off. I switched my day off just in case.
Nice, buddy. Okay.
Alright.
Nice. Okay, the real fucked up, or a real quick story of pee stage fright. If for you ladies that don't know what that is, wait, do you think girls have it?
Oh, I wonder. I mean, it's like a psychological thing. I don't think it's biological. Like, I really don't think it's just because we have a dick. Maybe it's universal. I don't know.
I just never thought about a girl having it, but actually, I'm pretty confident they probably do.
Probably.
Down in the comments, let us know.
Let us
know. Yeah. So we were going to a fucking movie. I think it happened twice in one fucking movie setting. That I go in there and fucking. It's a movie theater, so everything's soundproofed. Every theater, and the bathrooms are just silent, no music.
Right.
Fluorescent lights.
No music?
No dividers.
What theater was that?
And AMC. And the urinals are like perpendicular to the mirrors. So like you can, if you look this way, you can see everyone, and it's just like.
That's a bad design.
It's basically like microscopes.
Right on your dick, bro.
Just studying you. And, dude, if I'm peeing, as long as no one comes, I'm good. But anyway, someone comes in, and I'm like, fuck it, I'll fight the thought. I'm just gonna fucking pee. I have to pee so fucking bad. And this guy stands right next to me. I'm like...
It's not gonna happen.
I'm like, I'm fighting the thought, though. I'm sitting there for a while. I'm like, no, I can fucking overcome this. Like, I'll show my dick to everyone in this movie theater. I don't give a fuck. I'll go in front of the movie screen. I just don't know what happens at the shift.
Yeah.
And the thought, like, becomes reality when someone walks in. You're like, oh, that's the door?
Yeah.
Fuck me.
I'm done. Toast.
Dude, I have a million stories like this.
So you couldn't go.
I couldn't fucking go. And then I tell my girlfriend, I come out and start to pee. I'm like, I think I was going to tell her something like, fuck this. I'm going back in.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't give a fuck what he thinks.
Sure.
That he probably knows that I had stage fright. But, like, fuck you, guy.
Dude, I've never even thought about that, too. They're probably... because like you hear it when somebody's next to you. Yeah, exactly, bro. They're standing there and it's just silent.
Wait.
Amateur.
Guy. Did I just add another fear to your layer of stage?
I'm gonna choose to forget that.
Yeah.
One.
Okay.
Just forget that one.
Okay. Want to go back to the trip with my mom?
Yeah, bro. Yeah, please.
So that was the
crazy segue, by the way.
Yeah, that's the heaviest trip I've ever had.
Yeah. So.
Because imagine a lifetime with your parent. You've seen their good, their bad, their ugly, everything that you can imagine. And you're about to... You have previous understanding of what trips are like. And you're diving into that knowing what it could potentially be. Mm-hmm. And so, I was like, dude, I've tried everything. And this is on Mother's Day. This is my gift to her.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And she's
That's
like...
so cool.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
And she's so up for it. And I'm like... That means, in my mind, that, like, she's really trying. Like, she went to all the rehabs, like, mostly willing. Like, it's not that she doesn't want to change. Mm-hmm. I think these things, like, raped as a kid, like...
Her?
Yeah, like, that's where all of these things stem from, dude. Like, I think everyone that it turns out to be a bad person, or seems like a bad person...
You tie it back to their childhood.
Tie it back to some fucked up thing that happened to them. Yep. And it's foul play at some sort like that, you know?
That's awful, man.
It's terrible. And anyway, she's more of definitely a more, like, super open book. And I'll say this one really good thing about her. She appreciates the littlest things like enlightened person would. Because she has that range of being homeless for fucking 7 years.
Oh, yeah.
Being raped, all these things. And a night spending at my house... and me cooking her dinner and just being in the same room.
Probably means the world. Probably
it's the best day.
Yeah.
So anyway, we go on a hiking trail. It's Mother's Day, so it's starting to get hot. I'm a little nervous. My mom, they say she's bipolar, but I try to gauge her mood that day. Because there's sometimes where I'm like, oh, that's really her. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a really good version of her. Like I can predict how she's going to react and stuff. Okay. It's dicey. On the way there, I'm kind of feeling like backing out maybe.
Just because of how, the vibe you were getting?
Yeah, the vibe I was getting, but she was, like, committed. She's like, no, we're doing this. And she was being, like, too, manic. Like, manic excited. Yeah. Already, and we haven't even started tripping. I haven't gave her yet. And I'm like, I don't fucking know, dude. What if I fuck my mom up?
Bro, yeah, like, that's a crazy dilemma, dude, to find yourself.
No, that's spot on, dude. Because look, I've tried everything. And I'm like, if something happens to her because of the lifestyle that she's in, and I feel like I still have things left on the table, I have that regret for the rest of my life.
For sure.
And then it changes everything for me. And it's changed my life in positive ways. So I'm like, and so many other people I care about. So why not the person I care the most about? Mm-hmm. That deserves a really good life. So anyway,
sure.
We end up doing it. At this hiking place, and then we start on the trail, and it's just us, and I'm like, this is fine. But after we get like 10 minutes into it, it hits her fast, and she starts getting louder with her.
Was it all of it all at once?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. And she starts like talking louder when she's telling the stories, and then someone's coming up behind us, and I'm like, oh no. I'm like, right now I'm like keeping her barely in with the reins, like. And he's coming up behind us, and she's like saying out loud, like, oh my god, there's someone behind us. But like, it's the wilderness, like you can hear what she's saying. I'm like, god damn. And then yeah, it gets there's definitely worse moments. And eventually, like, I can't do this trail, dude. Like, this is too public, and she's very unpredictable. So I was like, let's just go down to the bench that I saw in the beginning, and let's like hang there, and we'll just sit 5 hours and just do this trip together and unpack everything. Sure. So we go down there, and we're sitting, and we're talking, and she keeps repeating, she's like, well, she was homeless, so she's like, people on that street, call me Annie, like, my name is Ann, like, who is she? And she kept, like, repeating, like, who is she? Like, trying to figure out, like, who am I? Like, what do I stand for is, like, how I interpreted it. And she kept saying it over and over again, and I'm, like, looking, I'm like, dude, did I give her a psychotic break? I'm like, and I'm tripping, so I'm like, I'm really
spiraling, bro, going through it.
I didn't really spiral, but I was, like, sitting with the reality of, like, holy fuck.
This could be
And I'm trying to talk to her like here and there, but I'm kind of just letting her work it out too. Because you could tell like if I was gonna tell her something, she wouldn't listen. Because it was just hard enough to get her down the mountain, and we were only like 5 minutes into it, like. So like trying to get her down the bench. Anyways, this gets a lot worse though.
No way.
Yeah, dude.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're sitting there. She keeps saying that, and I'm like, oh. And then this family takes graduation like high school pictures. The bench next to us.
Oh God.
Oh, I forgot about this part. It's gonna make me cringe, dude.
Oh no.
They bring a professional photographer, and they pull up right next to us, and they're gonna take their time, dude, because like they drove out to where the fuck were we? I don't even remember, but it takes a minute to get out there. Yeah. They're probably paying for it, so they're gonna make it last. Yeah. And anyway, I'm trying to keep my mom chill, and they're right next to her taking pictures, and they're probably like, dude, they're probably like 15 feet away from us. And I'm just like, well, maybe they'll just think my mom is just going through it, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so that's happening at the same time. A cop car, it's a little cul-de-sac. We're sitting in the cul-de-sac. Passes in the middle of nowhere. I'm like, they're here for us. Like, that has to be for us.
Yeah, the only reasonable explanation.
Yeah, and I'm like, dude, the reason people get caught by the cops is because you act suspicious. Oh, yeah, and totally. You tell yourself not to act suspicious, you're being suspicious. Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, don't think that. And I'm like, fuck, but if the reality is if I'm not gonna do that, not think that way, and I'm gonna be that way, I might as well just get rid of the mushrooms right now because I had leftover. I'm like, Mom, I was like, because I had to tell her or she's gonna freak out. Yeah. I didn't have an option of like throwing it in the trash without her knowing. She
would be upset that you threw them away.
Yeah, there's a little bit more backstory that I can tell you after this. But anyway, so I had to tell her the news that I'm throwing away the mushrooms, and she's like, don't throw those away. And I'm like, why? And she's like, don't throw them away, blah, blah, blah. And just, like, gives me every reason. Will not let me throw them away. Yeah. I'm like, but she's getting louder. I don't know if the family's still there or not, but regardless, I do not want her loud. Yeah. It's going to attract my people. And I don't know if I want to say this. But I'm at a very important point in my professional career. So, like, if anything goes wrong, I lose everything that I worked really hard for. Sure. So anyway, I think I do end up throwing the mushrooms away in the big dumpster next to us, and then the graduation family leaves. I've passed out a few times throughout my life, being sick or whatever, and this time I felt it coming on. We were sitting like on a bench, no shade cover whatsoever, beating down on us, and I look to grab water from my camelback because we're sitting like this against the bench, like it's on our back. We're sitting opposite of it. Mm-hmm. And I go to get water, and I tell my mom I'm going to pass, and I passed out. And I'm totally unconscious. I wake up. My mom was pounding my chest, like, doing compressions. And she's giving me mouth-to-mouth. I'm like, whoa. And so, like, I come to very slow. I'm super diaphoretic, right? Because I just passed out. My body, like, reset, basically. Mm. So I'm like, wake up. My mom's freaking out. She's like, son, I thought you died. She's like, you turned blue. Whoa. She's like, I was calling for help, and no one heard me. So she got, like, on the table and was, like, yelling for help. Thank God no one came, but thank God I didn't need it. Yeah. And so I come to, super sweaty. I'm like, I know the feeling. I'm like, I just need to sit here for a second and, like, make sure that that's not going to happen again. Because in my mind, I'm still tripping. Mm-hmm. Come back to a tripping mind, and I'm like, hey, the reality is if I pass out and something bad happens, I need her to, like, not do compression on me, call 911 on my phone, and she doesn't even know my passcode. So these thoughts are going through my head, but I'm super weak because I just got a hard reset. Right. And so I'm trying to figure that out. I'm like, hey, so I'm trying to describe her. I'm like, hey, Mom, I just passed out. Don't freak out. I'm okay. I'm starting to feel better. But if anything happens, call 911, tell them exactly what I took, and they'll help me the best. And I don't care if there's any trouble. It doesn't matter. Like, this could be a serious situation. Sure. Anyway, I start feeling better. Like, okay, I'll drink some water. Oh, man. Let's go to the bathrooms. This is on Mother's Day, yeah. So, like, it's kind of populated. And it's busier. And then
where was it at again?
I don't remember.
Was it here in Arizona?
Yeah. Might have been Elephant Rock. That's where I went at one time, but I don't remember exactly. But anyway, so we go down to the bathrooms, and they're covered. I was like, hey, let's wash off. Just, like, get cooled down. And we go in there. I'm, like, washing her face. It's, like, a very, like...
Sounds like it could have been kind of like a tender moment.
Yeah, a very tender moment. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Like, I'm watching my mom's face, like, making sure that she's okay. And when I was leaning on her, I was, like, telling her, like, for the first time in maybe a long time, I don't know, she felt like she was my mom again. Because it has always been the reverse. Yeah. I'm always the parent in the relationship, finding her jobs, blah, blah. Sure. So in that moment, it gave us both a shift of, like, hey, at the end of the day, I still always got you. Anyway, it goes on, we wash our face, and then we're just talking, and we go deep. We're just, like, chilling on the water fountain, just talking about everything. And, like, why she made the decision she did. I asked her a really hard question, like, why do you drink? And pretty much boiled down to, like, life's more fun that way. She didn't really have an answer, because she doesn't think about it the way she just does it. Mm-hmm. Anyway, we talked about a lot of good things, unpacked so much. She came back to normal. I was like, thank God, because I was so fucking worried about that. Oh. That was, I don't know if that was dumb on my part, dude. Maybe I was just desperate.
I mean, understandably so, though. Dude, so kind of not where I was planning to go and ask this question, but I'm curious. So at what point did the cop fuck off? Like, I assume by this point he was completely gone when you passed out.
And he might have just been doing his, like, rotation that he does, but I think I saw him twice and then he was gone.
That would have stressed me out. So that would have been enough to ruin the experience for me.
Oh yeah, it was me basically
just knowing how it had been leading up to the moment where the cop shows up with your mom talking to herself and
then me losing my career. Yeah, me just like having a baby on the way.
For sure. I mean, just all the things, the optics, the whole visual of it all. I mean, knowing that people would be seeing that in my head, I would already have been nervous enough. And cop pulls up. Yeah, I would have been like ducking down, like I wouldn't have known what to do. 5 grams just to the face like that. First of all, crazy.
You've never done that many in one setting? I thought that's how you do it.
Not like all at the same time. No, I mean like, there was a time I did a full 1/8 in a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, but no.
And we drink it with orange juice too.
Holy shit, dude!
Yeah. Like a good amount of orange juice, probably like 8 ounces at least.
For anybody who doesn't understand that's the citric acid in like lemons and limes, oranges. It amplifies the effects of psilocybin in your gut, so
and increases the
like the visuals intensity.
Yeah, that I thought it was also for like delivery to get into your system faster.
Yeah,
because it's sugar. Mm-hmm. So it's actually a lot of things.
Yeah, that's
so anyway. I think the most interesting conversation. I took 2 things from that trip. I had a fuck ton of questions to ask her, dude. Yeah. I've been working on it for I don't know, maybe a week or something. Mm-hmm. I had to ask her one of those. 2 things I took away. I eventually got to the point in the trip where I was like, hey, I'm have a kid on the way. Like, what's the best parent advice you could give? And she said something to like to allow your kids to teach you. Basically, how I interpret it is like allow kids to teach you what the meaning of life is. Like, don't always hover over them. Let them teach you like how you're supposed to be, because they're pure. Yeah. And I've always kind of thought that, but the way that she put it, I was like, God damn, like that's perfect. As long as they're safe, I think this is a symbiotic relationship that you both like flourish, you know. Sure. And then the second thing was that I was thinking about it when you were telling about the telepathy tapes. At least in my family, and I think maybe Dakota too, we talk about like the divine intervention and like synchronicity. Are you familiar with synchronicity? Mm-hmm. Yeah, and coincidence. And the longest ongoing battle I've ever had, is it coincidence or is it synchronicity? Mm-hmm. And I gave up years ago and be like, that doesn't matter. It's that I'm experiencing and just appreciate it.
Sure.
So I gave that argument up a long time ago. But the conversation that me and my mom were having is that she's always had this ability to predict things that are about to happen. So there's multiple examples. So we talked about the examples and some that I forgot about. One being, I told you that my uncle was her closest like person in her life. He was also my favorite person. He was fucking the best. He's also the one that gave me pornos like at 10 years old.
So,
a box of them.
I mean.
Yeah, that's why I'm fucked up. But I was supposed to take, long story short, I was supposed to take my grandpa to the Cardinals game, and he was sick that day, so he's like, hey, take your uncle. And I was like, oh, me and my uncle are going to fucking go to the game together. Yeah. And he felt like a big brother, so it was like the best.
Sure.
Go on the light rail, blah, blah, blah. Fast forward, we're sitting there, the game's about to start, we're all standing up for whatever reason. And he's...
National anthem?
Maybe. Actually, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Do they do it before every football game? Professional?
I think any major league game, right?
No, it's probably just Super Bowl.
I don't know.
I don't watch sports.
I don't even watch sports, bro.
Yeah. Okay. You're like the only other person I know that's like not in the
same, dude. What
that's
the fuck?
crazy.
That is crazy.
Man. I haven't met. What the?
I literally could give a fuck less. I could not care less about ball games, bro. Like, it's entertainment. If it's on at the bar or whatever, like, if it's the Suns or like a home team.
That's how we've done too many psychedelics.
Bro, it's just not that. It's the Roman circus, bro. It's like.
The Roman circus.
You know what I mean when I say that?
Like, they're distracting us.
Yeah, 100%, bro. That's exactly what the Super Bowl is. That's a good conspiracy. Right there,
we're gonna get into it. I'm very curious, and maybe I'll. Anyway, the second thing we talked about is so I'm with my uncle at this football game.
Yeah.
He looks down and he's a perv, and he was like always single. He had like relationships like early on, but anyway, long story short, he looks down and this is not off brand for him. He looks at this girl in front of us with short shorts and he's like, hey, if the lights go out, I'll eat that girl's ass. Like, he whispers in my ear. Before he finishes his sentence, the lights in the whole stadium go out. Like that.
Oh, God.
And my mind is fucking blown in 10 different directions. I'm like, did you just control that? Are you God? Like, who is my uncle?
On the inside, bro.
Are you my uncle?
Right.
I start having a million questions, and because the way I always interpret it after that is that he was able to change everyone else's reality. So what does that mean? Like, he forced them into the situation that they didn't want to be in or chose. So I'm like, free will type thing. I started just going down there, and then Dakota told me a few years ago, I was telling the story, and he's like, maybe it's like an aura. You feel something's going to happen, and you're not even conscious of it, but you say something that aligns with it. And that's what they both have.
Because, like, why would the lights have just gone out? Like,
no.
Why was that a thing that he just would think?
It's not a coincidence.
Like, what the fuck?
And I don't think he did it. What Dakota said, he said that, like, it's just, like, something you feel, and then sometimes you're conscious, sometimes not. I know stories from my mom that she was conscious when she did it.
I can't stop thinking about that. Like, what would have prompted him to say that if there wasn't some sort of a...
I'll tell you another time. This is throughout my childhood. I'm getting mind blown by my fucking uncle, who's the best. It's nighttime, and we wrestle all the time.
Yeah.
Comes down, I'm, like, on my bike, or maybe he's chasing me.
I'm sorry. It's a crazy sentence, bro.
What?
I know it's all pure and innocent. I know that. But, like, out of context, it sounds crazy, bro. My uncle... We used to wrestle all the time at night.
Oh, yeah.
That sounds crazy.
After everybody went to sleep, dude.
Oh, and he would say, don't tell anyone? No, okay.
He said it's a lollipop. I'm just going, that's too far. Okay.
Oh. So you'd wrestle?
Do a wrestle. We'd get down, we'd turn off the lights. Cover my face with a pillow. No.
Stop.
Okay.
Stop.
You fucking brought it there.
Listen, man.
I can't let you fucking do me in like that. Okay. So anyway, we're outside. It's fucking sundown, and he's fucking it's like, what is it at night? Is it dawn?
Dusk.
It's dusk, and he's chasing me, and then he goes like this. He has a broomstick that he's chasing with, and he goes like this, boom, in the middle of the street. Street light goes out. And I'm like, what the fuck? And then he keeps following me. Gets to the next street light, boom. I don't know if the second one happened, but definitely the first one. I think he did the second one, though.
Yeah.
As soon as he did it, the fucking lights go out. Another thing with the lights, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, he's tapped in, bro.
And then my mom, similar things, but in different ways.
Sure. That's weird, man.
And I've had things like that, too, which is crazy.
Yeah.
And I wanted, and then...
You personally?
Yeah. And then so now I'm thinking, and I've thought this for a long time, kind of adopted it, that everyone, it was what you were saying earlier, everyone has the power, I guess this goes along with the telepathy tapes, that everyone has the power to tap into this. Not everyone does, though.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone, if you just...
You gotta elevate to a higher plane of consciousness, bro. It's
exactly.
That's what
and it's not always psychedelics. You can find it in different ways that I've learned through travel, a culture change.
Harmonics and frequency. Those, I would think that that's probably the best way to tap into something like that. If you can, because everything operates at a.
Did you read the Cabal?
Frequency. Huh?
Did you read the Cabal?
No.
Okay. Anyway. So it taps into that. It aligns with.
Well, yeah, bro. If you can tap into a certain vibration or certain frequency, I feel like there are things that would be capable. It's like what I would think if Jesus was a real person that walked the earth and did the things he did. I would think that he's a person that learned how to tap into these types of energies. The ether, that's the free energy that's literally just in the air that you could. Nikola Tesla discovered this. That's how a Tesla turbine can work.
Wait, they just tap into it and then
it's in one of the spheres. I can't remember. Yeah, the ionosphere. I want to say there was an experiment somebody did recently. It was one of Tesla's experiments, and he sent, it might have been a drone or something up with some type of wire, some specific metal wire, and then it was attached to a really simple little engine, not like a 4-cylinder, not like a car engine, like a couple batteries and some copper wire and something like that. And it has a specific name too. It's an actual thing, but not just his own invention. But as soon as it gets up there, it starts feeding off of it's literally free electricity in the ether. And it starts spinning the little tinfoil thing inside. And a lot of that information's been super suppressed because if we can just tap into that.
Why don't we just use that? Because all these corporations losing money.
Oh yeah, exactly. And that's what it all comes back down to, right? It's money.
Do you think money is the root of all evil?
I think in ways, yeah, probably.
Do we create anything else that works better? Or is it always this?
Maybe a barter system? I don't know.
But it only works when you get to this mass level of population.
No, I think currency's here to stay. Well, I mean,
maybe.
Not if there's CBDCs coming our way.
Oh, what's that?
Central bank digital currency.
Oh, yeah.
It's like...
Yeah.
So I heard that the Federal Reserve already has a system in place called FedNow, and it's basically payroll would be going through that. It's similar to China's social credit score system, wherein your bank account it's digital, right? There's no cash currency. Not to say that there's not cash in China, but there are countries that have adopted that and are fully cashless now. But basically through the use of AI throughout the cities, your social credit score can be affected if you, let's say, jaywalk or something like that.
Yeah.
The camera can identify you with your face and other biometrics, and all of that is linked to their central bank system, which can take the ticket right out of your account. They can limit where you're able to shop. Like they can geofence things.
Is that really happening right now?
That's a 100% real thing. Absolutely. And we are seeing that happen in America today. And so when I heard about the FedNow thing, it would be like a mobile app, and it would be similar to like a Venmo or a Cash App in its design, I would assume.
So they can lock up our funds if we do
literally,
a crime.
bro. And if the country went fully cashless like that,
Are we fucked? Are we cooked?
I think we'd be fucked, bro. They can literally control everything.
What are you doing if that happens?
I'm moving to the country, bro.
Move out of the country?
Well, I probably wouldn't move out of the country, but moving to the country, I just, there's nowhere safe, bro. Like, and you can be gotten anywhere. The surveillance systems are so advanced at this point.
So do you accept it at that point, or do you not fucking live that reality?
No, bro. And I genuinely don't think America would stand for that. But that's why things like COVID are important to keep in mind. These are their ways of testing what they can get away with us people. Yeah. Regular Joe Schmoes. You know that.
Think about all the UFO things. Dude, what the
probably
fuck?
Mostly a distraction, but I don't know, because there are declassified documents that are absolute confirmation that they exist. But I think all the stuff in the news, like what was happening in New Jersey and the drones and everything, I think that was a dangling carrot, bro.
Trump said before he got elected, he's like, I know what they are, they're ours, or something like that.
I don't remember.
And then he never discussed it after that. How do you not?
Well, dude, what do you mean? Look what they just did with the Epstein files.
Yeah, they promised that.
It's gone.
And the JFK files too.
Oh yeah. Well,
imagine RFK Jr., dude. That's like being able to know, like to finally get what's the word?
We do know it was the Israelis and Mossad, and the CIA. They killed John F. Kennedy. That's confirmed. And what's crazy is, like, we fucking know this shit now.
And nothing changes.
And nobody does anything about it.
Well, who's in charge that gives out, like, that runs everything? It's them.
Dude, it's usually the Jews and the Freemasons, who a lot of them are Jews.
Wait, why Jews?
They fucking run the world, bro. They run the fucking world.
Is that why everyone hates Jews?
Well, that's why there's so much talk about anti-Semitism and why that's like a trending thing right now. That if you say something bad about Jews, you're an anti-Semite.
So you're
a terrible person, bro. There is so much for me to show you, my friend. There's so much.
How do you say it in like a?
Dude, I don't. You'd probably get censored, bro. Like.
Okay, we won't talk about it.
It's in our spare time I can show you some stuff, but
for this podcast, you love Jews. I'm just. Have you met a good Jew?
Well, yeah, I think regular people that just are of Jewish descent or happen to follow the Jewish religion, like just regular people like you and I, they are none the wiser to any of this. They have no idea.
Yeah.
It's the elitists. It's the
majority is usually Jews.
Bro, yeah, in our own government, there are so many ties to Israel, or people with BIPAC citizenship, or dual citizenship with Israel and America, or just ties in some way, or maybe they're of Jewish descent, or they are literally just Jewish. Like the vast majority of a lot of our government. It's crazy.
How many of the world population is Jewish?
I don't know the answer to that.
What do you think it is? You have even an educated guess?
20, 15%. It's probably not like a ton. Okay. I don't know like geographical statistic like that. I wouldn't even know where to begin. Okay. But I know that there's an entire nation of them, so at least that much. Okay. And then whatever's here in America.
We'll stop talking about Israel and. How about this? How about we end on a good note?
Sure.
Tell me your favorite moment, and this can be hard, when you were under a psychedelic substance and you were tripping. One that just like always like, damn, that was bliss.
Oh, like that was like a beautiful experience, or just like.
I guess funny too. Either way. Either one.
Yeah, that is hard because I have so many experiences that are just like, mind-blowing or...
How long did you do acid for? Like you said you started...
A few years. I think I started when I was 16. I didn't do it like... I say regularly, but it wasn't like an everyday thing. Probably like sometimes once, twice a week I would do it for probably 3 or 4 years.
Was your mental health good during that time?
Solid. I've... Like I said, bro... I got that mental fortitude, and I don't know if it was because of that, and I just had to force my way through what could have been bad experiences. And then, I don't know.
But are you born with that, or do you think you've trained yourself to be this way?
I don't know. Maybe a little bit of both. I'm not sure, dude. I dealt with a lot of stress in my life for my own choices leading up to my psychedelic experiences, and maybe that is part of it, just learning how to deal with high stress situations.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think I come from good stock. I think I just got good genes too.
True.
So it's a hard question though. I would say probably when I did 7 tabs and I smoked DMT and we were at Water Wheel Campground in Payson.
Mm-hmm.
I'd been into videography for years, and I had this really nice camera that I'd rented. I wanted to make a documentary about the psychedelic experience, and I wanted to post it online and kind of bring awareness to the fact that like we're having like transcendent experiences with it, and it's not this hippy dippy. Well, it is hippy dippy, but it's not this demonized thing that the media's made it out to be for decades. And so I was like on a mission. So I rented a bunch of gear. I brought my girlfriend at the time, my buddy Darian, he was like my brother.
Who you've done many trips with?
Many. Most. I think his girlfriend Kalina, and that might have been it. It was, if there was one more, her name would have been Chelsea. I can't remember actually. We pulled up to this place, and apparently there had recently been a flood, and people had either gotten harmed or had died out there. There was police tape, and we pulled up a story about it, and I don't remember if it was death or
What year
injury.
was this?
2017, probably.
Okay.
Probably 2017.
Okay.
Because 2019 Ryder was born, and Isan and I... It was either 2017 or 18, I want to say.
So a big flash flood came through.
Yeah. And so the whole area had, like, police tape at a certain point. And so, but we were, like, all of us in the...
Oh, it's okay. You get it?
Yeah. Here, pause 1 second.
No worries.
Hello? Yeah, can I call you right back? Let me call you right back, baby.
I'm going to bed.
Okay, I love you. Okay, good night. Sorry.
Is she mad?
No. She just thought it would have been done. Where was I? Oh, so we piled like 3 or 4 of us into this tiny little dog shit PT Cruiser, just like on its last leg. Barely made it up the hill through Payson, and so we get there and we see this and we're like, well, that ruins everything. Had a bunch of drugs with us that we were stoked. We've been planning this for a while, bro, because it took time to get the order in, and like I had a script that I wrote for everything.
Wait, with script meaning what? Oh, like you were gonna do for the documentary?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, like a whole thing planned out.
Was it good?
I thought so. I was pretty proud of it. Yeah, I was proud of it. There's not a shred of evidence that it ever happened anywhere anymore because it was on my ex's computer, and then the footage for all this was on an SD card from the camera, and after we broke up, I never took it out of the computer. So I'm super bummed about that. I have pictures from it. I've got Polaroids too of us, our eyes, and us lying on. It looked like Pride Rock, and there was like, so we ended up deciding that we come this far, and the fact that there's tape here and this whole thing just happened, we're probably not going to run into any people. This might actually be in our favor. I don't think cops are just going to randomly show up like we're in the middle of fucking nowhere. So let's just do it. Fuck it. So we go through, and when we get into the spot where we settled in, it was beautiful. I mean, really beautiful trees all around us. There was this huge bush. There was a creek running through here, and it was like gushing out of this bush in the side of... It was amazing. I don't even know how to explain it. And then there was this rock that came up over it. It looked like Pride Rock, just overlooking the river. I was like, that's where we're going. Right there. It was pretty close to the entrance too, but like I said, we weren't really concerned about people coming through. And we were tenured at this point. Like, we knew what we were doing, so it was going to be fine. And the girls were sober. Excuse me. So we get up there, and as soon as we got there, before we even knew that the tape was up, we had already taken a tab of acid. So we were like, that was a part of the reason we decided to commit, because we didn't want to deal with the drive back high. So we took some more, I believe. I'm setting up my camera. I'm getting some B-roll shots. I'm just going around, kind of taking it all in, getting familiar with our spot, kind of setting the perimeter. And it's probably like 11:30 or noon. Beautiful day. We post up on the rock and we start hitting the DMT pen, just kind of setting a little, just trying to get into it a little bit. And had some cool visuals with that, but it wouldn't really... DMT in its crystalline, like freebase form, you'll blast the fuck off. 3 hits, you're toast, dude. You're gone. This was in a cartridge that we'd gotten off the deep web, and it was a liquid. So I don't know, it was probably mixed with some like vegetable glycerin or something so it could flow through it, but it was not as potent. It was a lot of fun though, because you could still get really crazy visuals off of it, but you didn't feel that like sensation like you're gonna die.
Yeah.
Like it was a beautiful middle ground for DMT. So I didn't really start having the crazy visuals off it till I did the full 7. But so like 3-4 tabs in, we're like, let's explore. We had this giant creek running through, and it wasn't that deep. It was probably up to our hips. So it was like, let's go wade through the creek and see where it leads to. So we go through. Oh my god, I forgot about this shit. So we wade through, and we pull through the bushes, and it opens up a little bit more, and we lose sight of the girls, but we know they're like right behind us, and we can still hear them talking. Oh my god. And we pull up to a part where it gets a little bit shallow and there's some rocks sticking out of the water. And I'm climbing up on one and I look down and Darian's looking in the water. And he goes, whoa, whoa, and stands up, starts freaking out. And I'm like, whoa, 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 dude, what the fuck is going on? And he was straight seeing shit in the water that wasn't there. He's on like 3 tabs at this point. And I get down there and I'm like, bro, what are you fucking talking about? He like launched himself out of the water. He's up on the, not the shore, but like up on the rocks out of the water. He's like, oh fuck, what did he thought he see? What did he think he saw? It was either like some like crazy bugs or like snakes or something. And I was like, bro, you're tripping balls. And I look and I was seeing the same thing. I was like, oh fuck, man, I get it, bro. That's crazy. But the girls heard him yelling and they're like, oh my God, what's going on? They're freaking out. We had to calm them down. So I was like,
were they seeing the same thing?
No. They were sober. They were our trip sitters for this because we were doing a fucking lot. So we wanted to make sure that we had people that were there that we loved that could keep us grounded. So we both brought our girlfriend. And so we chill them out. We're like, we're fine. They're like, oh my God, I thought you were dying. I thought you like broke your leg or something. And I was like, that's probably enough venturing into the water for now. We come back. We do a little bit more recording. I'm interviewing everybody individually. And then a group of people comes hiking up out of the woods, stumbles upon us, high shit. And normally I would have been like worried about that, but I felt so at peace. I felt so in tune with like the nature and the world around me. Yeah. And they didn't have like a bad energy about them. They felt like it. I don't think they were family. I think it was a close group of friends, but they were probably in their 30s. They seemed cool. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know what it was. They were laughing when they came out about something. And they asked us what we were doing there. And I was like, oh, we're both really high on some psychedelics and we're here to make a documentary about it. And they're like, what? That's fucking awesome. And I thought it was the coolest thing. So we're sitting there chatting about it. And they're like, and what's in that cart? I was like, this is something called DMT. I'm explaining everything to them. And they'd never like heard about this before. And dude, and they thought it was the coolest thing. I think we gave one of them a tab and they ended up going on their way. They just left and we were there by ourselves for the rest of the day. So then I had taken 7. I think Darian was on 4 or 5 at this point. And so we were like, all right, let's do this. We're gonna rip this as hard as we can until it blinks like 3 times, and we're gonna see if we can blast off now that we're tripping as hard as we are. And so my girlfriend was recording us, and this was my favorite part of it, this footage that I fucking wish I could recover. She's standing there above us recording, and Darian and I are both like this, and I just ripped the ever-living fuck out of the pen, and I pass it off to him, and I'm sitting there lying back, and I'm waiting for it to kind of take me on my way, and I look up, and I saw this wisp of a cloud, like literally just had like come into cloud shape, and it was just like a wisp, nothing crazy. And we sat there, and well, before this, I was seeing the pine needles on the trees in front of me. They turned into like fingers, and they were like twisting and curling, like beautifully, not like how my fingers are doing it, but like smooth and bubbly. It was weird. And the flat leaves were expanding out and doing spirals and shit, and I was losing my mind. But we see this cloud, and it slowly became a full cloud. I don't know over how long. We keep ripping the pen. I'm like, are you watching this, bro? He's like, I'm with you, man. And we're staring at it. Before we know it, it's this whole full cloud. But it was
building into something?
It just became a full cloud from nothing. And we watched like what we would go on to see is the life and death cycle of this particular cloud. And I thought it was the coolest thing. What's really cool about DMT though is that a lot of people will report very, very similar experiences, like encountering deities.
I've heard that's fascinating.
Machine elves, other gods,
is that groupthink? Do you think there's a possibility of that?
No, dude. I think that it puts you in a different dimension. I really do. I think it sends your soul somewhere else.
Okay.
I genuinely believe that.
So there's common things that people see.
Yeah.
And then
let me ask you something. Do you know where DMT comes from?
I think it's created, at least ayahuasca, from a tree bark.
Ayahuasca is, yeah, which is which has a lot of DMT in it. It's super concentrated. There's a lot more of it in that, so it's a way more intense experience.
I know it's produced in our brain too.
It is, in your pineal gland at the time of death, usually.
Okay.
You can get it from a toad that shows up around here.
Arizona toad. Yeah.
All the time. It's the Bufo alvaris.
Yeah.
We've caught them.
You've done it?
Well, I haven't smoked it. That's 5-MeO DMT. That's a little bit different. You have to
smoke it? You can't lick it?
Mm-hmm. You can lick the toad, but you'd have to get the venom on your tongue. Because that's what we did was we squirted it onto a plane of glass, and you let that dry out, and then you scrape it up, and that's freebase DMT.
And you did it?
I didn't do that shit. I wasn't, no, I didn't do that.
That's crazy if you did, though.
No, we had seen videos and wanted to try it, and monsoon season we had a ton, so we tried it.
And you got it too, but no one was brave enough to try it?
Fuck no, dude. I've seen some really scary... I saw a video one time of a shaman administering 5-MeO DMT to somebody, some tourist, and they were on a beach, and he just starts like hysterically screaming. He's like throwing his body, convulsing, I don't even know what kind of experience, but went through hell. And I've read articles about this. It's not uncommon with that particular DMT.
Got it.
Otherwise, it can be extracted from just about anything organic.
What?
Mm-hmm. I don't know how to deconstruct it and make it so that you can extract that out of it, but that's true.
Wait. So to how far? Like it's in everything.
Everything
organic. You said.
As far as I understand, like plants and human.
Then that would make sense that might be God.
Well, so the way that I think about it is, like, I think about the Big Bang Theory, and if that's legit, then literally everything came from stardust.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that shit is stardust, bro.
It looks yellow, isn't it?
Yeah. I just had a memory of it in my Snapchat. I was just looking at it the other day.
I had a dream, and I've never done DMT, that... It's crazy, actually. That I had a dream that I found DMT, or something. I was, like, hiking or whatever, and I look down in my hands, I'm holding it, and it's just this fluorescent, like, greenish, yellowish, like, I just knew it was DMT. I've never seen DMT before in my life. And I wake up, and then, I don't ever think I fact-checked it, but then I eventually heard that it was yellow. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's got a yellowish tint to it, for sure.
Anyway, so that was your best trip, and so you give it to these people, they go on their way.
Yeah, this fucking cloud, bro.
Yes.
So I bring up those similar experiences because we both saw this. It was like this, bro. He was doing this, and he had his head back. We called him the dancing man. He had a top hat on.
Looks like
Yeah, that's another thing that I've heard people saying.
The astroplane.
I don't know.
I have a crazy story about the top hat.
Okay. Yeah. No. This is just. It was like the silhouette of some dude dancing like this, but. It was a repeated pattern around the entire edge of the cloud, and I could see it twisting infinitely into the center of the cloud. It was like I could reach out and grab it. Like my sense of depth perception was just non-existent. But like literally, like where this ceiling is where it felt like the cloud was.
Okay.
And he was seeing it too.
I didn't get that. Bitch. Could you try again?
No.
Shut up, bitch.
And he was seeing the same thing, and so that was a whole crazy thing. And then I just remember, as things kind of started to die down before we left, I did not want to leave, bro. I was like, this is an oasis. This is the most serene place I've ever been in my life. I could die here. The creek starts to die off under this bridge. And I remember just being down in a squat, like watching the water go over the rocks and little bugs crawling around. And it was just like, this is what it's all about, man.
That
like,
moment.
This is God.
Yep.
And I've experienced like God on a number of trips where it was just like that sense of connection.
Yep.
And that ties back to the whole shared lives theory. Like no wonder I'd be experiencing that, because when I'm connecting with other people, I'd be connecting with myself, yourself, right? Provided that shared lives, that collective consciousness theory is accurate.
Mm-hmm.
And that collective consciousness is God, because consciousness is source. So I'm feeling God when I'm high on mushrooms because I'm connecting with the rest of my source.
Yeah, that makes so much sense.
Super, super cool experiences, but that one probably takes the cake.
That's probably the most profound understanding that I've come from psychedelics, is that like we are all the same thing in that way and connected in some, probably through consciousness somehow.
Because even if we're not literally all one collective consciousness, we are still human.
Yeah.
And we are all the same in that way. And it's like that's a basic understanding we should all be able to respect and understand. And that should be enough to put aside most differences. Like, we're all here to fucking learn, and we got hardships and shortcomings, but like, we all have that. Like, we can all
there's
come
no one
together
that's not
on this.
suffering.
Right. Well, billionaires.
No, they're suffering, dude. They're
Maybe.
the saddest people.
Maybe, yeah.
Seriously.
Bezos doesn't look that sad to me, bro.
Yeah, because everything's a facade. Like,
yeah, you're probably right.
I think they're probably suffering the most, but damn, okay. My favorite trip was the one at Disneyland. We've done it.
Oh yeah, I wanted to hear about that.
We've done it a couple times. But
did you did you go on Space Mountain?
Yeah.
Oh, bro, I would have been on it all day.
Dude, it was amazing.
That would have been fucking crazy.
You become the ride, dude.
Yeah, I bet.
But even crazier than that was a Spider-Man ride in California Adventure. I'm next to this.
Never been on it.
They were French. I don't know how I knew that. Father and son next to me, and there's a 4-seater, and I was with this family. Like, you haven't been on the Spider-Man one? You're isolated in a cart, and then a projector comes over the front of you, so you're like locked in.
Is it like a 4D ride where you got like a screen?
Yeah, and you're interacting with the screen.
Got
so
it.
I'm shooting webs, and there's fucking spiders everywhere.
Oh, fuck.
In the thing, though, they're all like... I've never experienced anything fucking like that. It was like... Think about the funnest video game you've ever played, but like times 100. Because you are in the video game now.
Right.
And I'm just fucking shooting webs. Anyway, that's just something... That was a side quest that happened.
Yeah.
And it was fucking dope.
That sounds so
fun.
But
we did it day 1 and day 2. And at this point, my girl, like...
You did acid on day 1 and day 2?
No, we did mushrooms. We've only done acid once together.
Oh, okay. Mushrooms definitely a safer bet.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
We did it day 1 and 2, and she did it once in high school, but like didn't like it. And we were in like line for the Star Wars ride. What is it called? It doesn't matter.
Something front, I think, but
yeah. So we're standing there, and I pull them out. I was like, "Hey, you want to do this?" And she's like, "I don't know, should we?" And I was like, "I'm doing them." And I threw it in my mouth, no questions asked.
Raw mushroom, bro. Mm-hmm. That's crazy, man.
Yeah. And then she's like, "Did you just do it?" I was like, "Yeah, you doing it with me?" She's like, "I guess. Are you
Can't
sure?"
be hanging now.
Yeah. And then she's like, "I trust you. Let's do it." And we fucking do it. Anyway, I'll fast forward to the best part. Because it's a lot to describe for sure. Imagine a whole day at Disneyland and then twice.
Yeah.
So anyway, California Adventure. She fell in love. Like, this is our falling in love moment. Mm-hmm. Hers was day 1. Mine was day 2. Different time. You know the little adventure part in California Adventure? Yeah. We go there peak tripping. Okay. You go into the maze, you can go left or right. And I was like, ooh, she wants to go this way. I was like, let's go this way. You walk, it's like a redwood forest we haven't been there. It's like, it mimics the redwood forest. Okay. And like you're walking through a big hollow tree trunk. Mm-hmm. And at that point, in the middle of the busiest place, was just her and I.
Yeah.
And all you can see is the sky through the little slit of this like redwood that you're in. Yeah. The sound sinks, and all I can hear is the most peaceful bird chirping I've ever heard, like in any cartoon in the morning. Yeah. Like, it is. And then so I grab her hand and we're walking, and as I take a step and take another step, I start to have all these thoughts and memories of like things I've heard about love through my entire life.
Yeah.
That I once believed, because I've always been a hopeless romantic.
Sure.
But it was like, one of them was like, when you know, and like they started to come back, and I'm holding her hand, and I'm like feeling her energy. I'm like, oh, it was like this, and like now I understand it. And then it would be another one. Mm-hmm. So I'm having epiphany after epiphany after epiphany.
Yeah. And
then we get to some point, and I'm like, I'm having the best time. I was like, I gotta pee. I want to really enjoy this, kind of like what I did earlier. We go to the bathroom. I'm so happy and excited, because I just found someone that I'm about to spend my life with, and I'm so sure of it. Mm-hmm. I've never been so sure in my life about anything.
Nice, bro. That's awesome.
And dude, imagine to have that, it gives me goosebumps. To have that feeling at, I don't know, I was like 25 or 26. I don't know. I've been together 26 probably.
Yeah.
To have that experience, to be so sure of something, I'm overwhelmed. And I'm like fucking peeing. I'm like fucking have pee in my hand. I don't care. I'm not fucking washing my hands. Go out there. I'm about to tell her what I was thinking because I was having all these thoughts. She goes into the bathroom. I wait for her. And I'm pacing back and forth. Disneyland chaos.
Mm-hmm.
Tons of people.
100%.
And I'm just going back and forth in front of the bathrooms. And I am just getting mind blown every 30 seconds. It's waves of mind blown.
Yeah.
Because I start to think, I'm like, oh my God, I get to spend my life with her. I get to do this, and that. And I was like, I started just like seeing the future of like what it's going to be like. And I started getting specific. I get so specific. Fuck it. We're going to move on. I would get so hyper focused on what our future was going to be like. I would forget that like I get to spend my life with her. And then it would hit me again, a wave.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and she came out of the bathroom. I'm like, babe, if I never felt this happiness again, I'd be totally okay with it. I just didn't know it existed. I was like, I would have lived my entire life thinking I was a happy guy. And would have probably died happy. But this is another level.
Yeah.
Best way unlocked range of emotion, bliss that I could ever feel. And I was like, that's it. Yeah. And then then little things throughout the trip, people would watch us like being in love and they would get happy and they didn't know that we were watching them watch us. And like those type of things, it was just fucking dope. And everything, the best part is when you're on a psychedelic, mostly with mushrooms I've experienced, is that things start to happen that are so aligned that it's like the epiphany. Like when you have an epiphany, it feels really good. When a synchronicity happens and they happen back to back, it's just, have you had that before?
Maybe. I mean, nothing like that. That sounds profound.
It's crazy, dude. I think I've had it on a few different trips.
I will say something like that happened to me when I was sober.
Yeah? What was it?
My wedding night.
Oh, what?
When we first got to our hotel after we left the wedding, we were just kissing in the bed and I just was super overtaken with emotion. I just started crying like a baby. I was like, I'm just so happy right now. Like how lucky am I that I found it this young? Like you were saying,
that's what I had.
Some people look their whole lives for this shit, dude. Like,
they miss it.
And it doesn't need to be perfect. Like we don't need this to be perfect right now. Like we've got our whole lives to figure it out. Like,
that's what I said.
I'm just so fucking happy about it.
Yeah.
And I'm just
glad it's you.
Bawling, bro.
Yeah.
I was just crying like a bitch. It was.
Damn.
I was totally sober.
Damn, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Those are the type of things that I think about often. I'm like, people never do psychedelics. At least they have that to really shift their mind.
Yeah, for sure. That's what my mom always talks about. Is like, you don't need these things to have these experiences and emotions, but like,
it's a tool.
It's a great tool.
It's a tool that can get you there right now and get you thinking about some stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, I think for most people today, it could be and should be the thing that will kickstart you into a better existence. Like, definitely not everybody should take psychedelics. There are specific groups of people that absolutely should not. If you got like a severe mental health problem, schizophrenia or something like that, don't do it.
Or if you know deep down that like you're not living the life you're supposed to, and you're not willing to change, don't do it.
Yeah, dude, because you're going to face your demons.
You have to confront it.
You're 100% confronted with that, and there's no running from it. It's you and your mind.
Yep.
In a fucking battlefield.
And that in a battlefild that goes on for a long time sometimes, months beyond the trip, you're figuring things out.
For sure.
I had to rethink the way that I think about everything.
Yeah. Tell me about it. That shit is real.
And that's the integration part that we don't talk about very often is like, how do you go back to a society after you go on a trip that totally takes it apart?
Yeah, that was a question I had to ask myself, because it's like, you learn the shit, then you start to see it everywhere, and then you realize like, oh man, like it's been here this whole time. And
I was aware of it, and then what am I doing now? That's...
Well, it's like, now that you're so aware of it, it really is like, that is the big question. How do I go back to what it was before? And I'll tell you the truth, you don't.
You don't. And I'm okay with that. I'd rather live this way.
You can do the best you can to make the most of your experience, because that is all that you have control over, regardless of what the Masons or the elites or whoever it is, regardless of what anybody else is doing, that will impact our quality of life. I can't really do anything about that unless we all came together and overthrew that shit.
Yeah. Do you think that happens?
There'd have to be some really damning evidence, be like globally public, like
aliens.
No, I mean we know about that now. I think if there's anything, okay, maybe we should end with this part.
Okay, let's do it.
The World Economic Forum, the WHO, the UN, Klaus Schwab, a lot of these
major companies,
huge companies, organizations have a plan for a one world order. This isn't even conspiracy. They have literally been on television talking about this. No joke. And their plans for it, and it could get pretty wild pretty quick.
I've heard about it from Dakota. Did they have like when it was supposed to happen and it didn't happen?
I've heard things about 2028, but COVID was like phase 1 of this thing. Project Bluebeam was what I was going to bring up. I think if there's anything that will unite or destroy or completely divide a people is something like an alien invasion or the second coming of Christ. I think if one of those two things were to happen,
something that saves us
or destroys us. And the thing about that is that our government possesses the technology, extremely advanced hologram technology, that they could fake this. This comes back to this universal law of karma, right? You see Spider-Man Far From Home.
Mm-hmm.
You know the drones with the cloaking technology?
Yeah. That's
exactly how I think it would be done. It would be fake imagery, real damage. If it were the second coming of Christ, I think that's more likely the way that they would go about creating a one world religion, government, order, all of that.
Wait, same thing with projections? It'd just be Christ?
But it would just be Christ.
And
or a different deity, or one that nobody has conceived yet.
Do you think that if Jesus comes down like that, do you ever think it's Jesus, or do you always like, no, fuck
I don't know, bro. He warns about people pretending to be him.
Damn.
You know, he warns about false gods claiming to be the second come, false idols, all sorts of shit like that.
I heard someone recently discuss about the projector theory about the aliens and drones. It's
Project Bluebeam?
Yeah, because they're doing it in China where they can like do a whole show out of drones.
Yep. Well, no, this is different.
Yeah, but Project Bluebeam, I've heard multiple times on the podcast, but I don't even know what it is.
Check this out. This was something that happened in New York. It was
Are you going to show me a video?
Yeah. It's
Here,
no
we can wrap
copyright or
this.
anything.
Huh?
It's like a 30-second thing. It's just a quick. And then, yeah, we're good. But this was like for promotion for a Lil Uzi Vert album. You hear that? And you see that? Uh-huh. This was actually fucking happening on the streets of New York. That is a hologram. This is Lil Uzi. There's a longer video you can see on somewhere. We can find it. That was him being beamed down into the stadium he'd be performing at. Hologram. End of the world, yo! There's a longer clip of that same video on YouTube somewhere. But like, if this is possible, if this literally exists right now, like who's to fucking say, man? And with advancements in AI.
Wait. So what's is this publicly talked about? Did they do that on purpose
That was Lil Uzi. I don't know what resources he's got access to, bro. But
wait. So people are watching this, and like
that just happened on the street.
So this is just proof that like if our technology can do that, they can.
They could literally pull the fucking hood over and fool us all. And if we're not fucking careful and cognizant about these things, we're toast, bro. But there's more of us than there are of them. And I think, especially after COVID and during COVID, a lot of people are waking up to it. I see tens of thousands of people online talking about this stuff. It's not uncommon to run across somebody like
what about the
you
crazy
or myself.
People? What do you think about the crazy people?
Like QAnon shit?
Yeah. Do you think they ruin it for everyone else and we get off track, distracted?
I believe that QAnon is a psyop put in place to discredit conspiracy theorists. I really do think that, bro, because it's already...
Because that was the one that was like majorly discussed, and then it turned out they did a Netflix special. It was totally debunked.
Yeah.
So you think it was just a distraction?
I think it was a psyop, bro. I think it was meant to convince people, like, if you literally put... Because they weren't talking about things that aren't true.
Yeah.
Right? The stuff that Q was putting out there was legitimate intel, but, like... It almost like they had to give it legitimacy, they had to give it credit to discredit the rest. Because if they could then discredit QAnon and, well, but all that stuff was real, I don't know, bro. It just seemed like a power play of some sort. Like they knew they were capitalizing on what was already becoming more mainstream than ever in history, the idea of conspiracy. So.
All right, last question. Are we cooked, like, for the future? Do you think this turns around? Like, what's the percentage of us coming out on top or destroying ourselves? Based off everything you know.
70-30.
70 what?
30.
Yeah.
Like, fucked. I wish I wasn't so cynical, bro. I really do hope for the best. But there's also... the rise and fall of civilizations all throughout history, bro.
One has never lasted.
No, and I think it'd be arrogant to assume that we'll be the ones to...
It's like our religion is the right religion when you grew up with it.
Right, exactly. So I am, especially, I keep coming back to it, but especially with AI, I really, more than likely it's going to be due to something like that, or some, like, mutually assured destruction, world war, nukes.
I think nukes are my biggest scariest thought. Honestly,
but it's the only reason I even think that because here's the thing: the numbers will show that since the height of the Cold War, Russia and America have all reduced their nuke arsenal by around 650, or reduced it to about 650.
650 what?
Warheads. Okay. Nuclear warheads. Which is more than enough to destroy. I mean, I think even just one set of those in this video I was watching, it basically enough to take out all of California, something like that. But
they reduced them though.
Yeah, but and what the takeaway was, like, it's kind of a beautiful thing, that in spite of the differences, we have agreed that it would still be better to set those differences aside than it would be to nuke the planet and everybody die.
So they're not completely crazy.
So they're not completely fucked. I think that nukes are not... They're a threat for sure, but in my very limited, educated opinion on the matter, I would say it's probably less of a concern than most might think, just because no one wins with those.
And that's an easy out rather than the dystopia that might occur if... AI. It goes the worst way with AI.
And I think that's far more likely.
At least we get to enjoy moments like this.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's probably what led me to where I'm at in life. Career-wise, it's like, hey, this is all finite, dude. I want to make the most out of my time while I'm here.
100%. Let's do it.
Awesome, dude. All right. Love you, brother. Thank you.
Of course, man.